More to the P, nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever and cute as could be. You can watch us on YouTube with video for French. This one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time wonder what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Morning, everybody. Hello, Leroy.
How was you guys' Father's Day?
It was excellent. Thank you for asking. How was yours, buddy?
Good.
But you know what I did notice?
What?
When I walked into Publix, not a damn thing out there for Father's Day, dude.
I know. You see?
I walked in there.
See?
They didn't even try at my Publix. None of this fake beer pyramid nonsense that you were talking. They didn't. You wouldn't have known it was Father's Day from any other Sunday. It was a complete slap in the face.
Everybody says I'm crazy. You just haven't been paying attention.
So
they stepped it up by my Publix. They put Sam Adams, and hot dogs. That was in the front.
Grilling equipment everywhere. Grilling equipment.
Yeah.
Great.
Right. I will say this, though. So, Saturday, I got a little Jersey Mike's.
Oh.
Daughter likes Jersey Mike's, so I figured I'd get one, too. And right next to Jersey Mike's, bun cakes.
Oh.
Nothing bun cakes?
Nothing bun cakes.
Yeah. Oh, does my mic sound better now? Does it still sound weird? People are saying it sounds weird.
Yeah,
you sounds better now. Before it
sounds good, but it sounds good now? Okay, just want to make sure.
So I was like, all right.
You
check out the new flavors.
Day. Yeah, Father's Day, dude.
No, it was Saturday, but
okay.
S'mores and key lime pie. Key lime bun. Ooh.
Let
me tell you.
You don't got to tell me twice, dude. I'm in on that.
Oh, it was delicious.
What about you, a little baby tadpole frog boy? How was your Father's Day?
It was as appropriate, spent in water, so that was good. Did a pool party at my brother's house and got the kid tired as I possibly can. So it was solid.
Yep, I did pool. I had my little flotation device with my cup holder, right? Got it all situated, put it in the pool, turned on the TV, right? Put the golf on, the U.S. Open on.
Who the hell is this guy who won? I have no idea who he is.
He's a good player. He's been around, right? He won finally like last year, but remember, he was the guy that Rory beat in the playoff to win the Players. So he's had a really good year.
When you say remember, I don't remember.
I know.
I was probably just like rooting
against Rory beat him in a playoff to win the Players, which is
okay. Good for him.
Like the fifth major. So he's been
snooping around.
Right. He's been snooping around. But it's one of those things where sometimes you can turn on the TV and you can't take your eye off of it because of the greatness. And other times in golf, in certain situations, you can watch it because of the collapse. And it was a lot of carnage.
Oof.
A lot of carnage. I told you it was going to be right around even par or +4, but very rarely does a guy who has the lead, remember he had the lead after day one.
You held it?
Right? He lost the lead. He was 4 or 5 shots back when the round started and ends up winning by 2. That's just great play.
Headlines are brought to you by Doral Kia. Doral Kia, choose from over 500 new Kia models in inventory at the Sportage, Sorrento, and Telluride. Remember, when it comes to Kia, the great deals are at Doral Kia. And ladies and gentlemen, your Florida Panthers are 1 win away.
We have 15 right now.
Hoisting Lord Stanley once again as they beat the Edmonton Oilers 5-2 in Game 5 on Saturday night.
Hey, I'm going to tell you like this. Tomorrow, down the street from my house.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all better bring it.
Pots and pans, dude.
Y'all better bring it.
Well, I don't know what they do, pots and pans and Davy. They may just shoot some 6-shooters right into the sky.
Oh, that's a good idea. Wow.
No, lately, and we've had as an epidemic, the kids on the little baby motorcycles.
Like little I've seen those little motorcycles, like little circus clown cars.
Kids that are they got to be in their teens,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not the little baby ones, but just small ones that shouldn't be on the road. But it's like 6 or 7 of them on the road.
I was very on edge because during Game 5, I was on the air calling dirty boxing this weekend, which was awesome. We'll get to some of that later on.
Hey, by the way, I almost dehydrated for y'all again. I'm like, this is like
stop saying for y'all. You're a Panthers fan. You're doing it for you too. You want the Panthers feel good.
I know, but I'm a former athlete. I don't know about changing mojo and all that stuff.
Well, if you would have stuck to your guns Game 1, this thing would be over already. So I don't want to hear it from you.
What?
Yeah, you heard me. Did I stutter?
Oh, like last year when you sent the star to the Yotes?
I sent Carter Verhaeghe. I threatened to send him to the Yotes. Threatened.
You see how we doing a little word toss up here? I feel like every time I have a conversation with this guy, I'm playing taboo. I got to figure out what he really saying because the man ain't told the truth in a while. I may have sent him to the Yotes. Yeah, there we go.
Well, so like I'm like watching the fights go on, and I'm like, man, this sucks. Like I'm not gonna know what's going on with the Cats.
So how are you doing it?
So I had my phone like over here, but I'm not like streaming it or anything because I gotta focus. And I'm just like, I looked down at one point and it said game on. I'm like, all right, we're underway. And then like I'm sitting here and I'm like looking and I see 2-0 lead. And I just saw 2-0 Florida Bennett. And I was like, ooh. And so I'm like, should I look? I'm like, I'm not gonna look. I'm not gonna even look at the game cast. During interview because I get a little bit of
trouble.
I get like a little bit of a break when like Jason Anick's going up to go interview somebody. I could take a little peeky poo, and so I'm like, but I was, dude. I told Jason, my broadcast partner, and he's we're just hanging out that day down in Coral Gables because we had to be there at like 2 for rehearsal, and then we had like so much time to kill. And I'm like, I know what's gonna happen. He's like, how are you gonna focus on this game tonight? I'm like, I don't know. The only thing that was good about them losing Game 4 was I wasn't gonna miss them win the cup on Saturday. That was the only good thing. But the other thing that was looming that day, obviously, was the Kevin Durant rumors. And I'm like, I know for sure Kevin Durant's getting traded when we're on the air. I know that's happening. I said that's happening. Kevin Durant is gonna get traded when we're broadcasting the fights. And sure as bleep, I'm like looking down. So I see the 2-0, and then I look down, and all I see on my phone is Shams, Kevin Durant, Miami Heat. And I'm like,
you can't.
I'm like,
wait. So you got snippet. That's what that's called.
I just see that, and
they just took a little snippet, and you're like,
and I'm just like, Ronaldo hits him with an elbow.
Wait, you're gonna have to start putting your phone in your pocket.
I probably, but I was just like, I had feelings. Now, obviously, Shams comes out. We'll get into the KD thing, but he ends up saying like he gives us the old preferred list, and the Heat are on it. So I finally get one look. I'm like, oh, he hasn't been traded. All right, cool. Then it's getting to we're getting to about the main event, and I'm like,
you can't quit it.
And I'm like, I kind of need to. I'm like, well, you got to see what the Panthers game is at. So I just took one little look, and I look and I see 3-0. I'm like, oh, but as soon as I do that, 3-0 flips to 3-1. I'm like, ugh, put the phone away. I'm like, I can't even look now. I'm not looking. I got selfish. I got greedy. So I put it away. Thankfully, the Cats won. kicked their ass. Brad Marchand, my God.
Dude,
Whoa.
I would say this. I think I got duped. Because when he got here, we were thinking about him as kind of an antagonist, like Kachuk, like, you know what I mean? But there are times when he looks like the craftiest, fastest skater on the ice.
He was
like he did the equivalent to
fire.
You remember when somebody shot a free throw and then Jordan came through the lane and dunked it? It's an iconic play.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking Marchand does that on the faceoffs. Like, does anybody checking him?
Dude, he's like a bat out of hell.
Yes.
He was flying all over the place. And you know he loves the road because he gets the DQ blizzard. He leads the DQ trips. And he looked all hopped up a Mountain Dew chip.
He looked like he had a new flavor.
Dude, he was so. Do you have the call, Froggy? Can we get the call of Brad Marchand? Let's get his first goal and his third goal. The third goal was like jaw dropping. It was like if you guys saw the mic'd up with Matthew Tkachuk, Tkachuk
he was stunned.
He's like, oh my God. He's like hugging Barkov. It was so goosies,
right,
to see that and to see the move that he put on.
To see when hockey guys are impressed by a hockey goal. Right?
Here was 1-0. This was Doug Plagans on the call to make it 1-0 to open up the scoring for the Cat. Brad Marchand did it.
Off the draw, Marchand heads in, a shot, he scores! Brad Marchand, top corner, and the Panthers strike first with 10:48 left in the first. What a start to this hockey game for Brad Marchand. He beats everybody down the ice, and Marchand upstairs gives the Panthers the first one.
It was so good. It was so good. And then, like, right before the end of the first period, Sam Bennett gets his 15th goal of the postseason. Unbelievable. This dude he's gonna be so rich. But the one everyone's talking about is the 3-0 goal. This really put the game out of reach for the Cats. Ends up being the game winner, and he just pulls a windmill move, breaks loose, and here's the call by Doug Plagans.
Anton Lundell doesn't win that draw from Draisaitl. Out to the point. It's worked across to Bouchard, but the pass broken up. Marchand in, past Wallman. Marchand, and he scores! Marchand went to the backhand. He sneaks it down low past Pickard. What an individual effort for Brad Marchand, and the Panthers have taken a 3-0 lead here in Game 5.
Man, that's freaking awesome. I mean, he's been such a find by Bill Zito. I mean, he's not a find. I mean, obviously he's awesome, but like the fact that you added this guy on top of your team, and what a performer he's been in the postseason, but particularly in the Stanley Cup.
So who do you give it to?
Who, Conn Smythe?
Yeah, because
task at hand.
Sam Bennett's been pretty good.
Sam Bennett's been good, but I would venture to say that all around Marchand has been more impactful.
I don't know. It's tough. It's definitely those two. Like, it's one of those two for sure. I mean, if you're going all playoffs,
Sam Bennett,
I think you got to go Bennett, but like in the cup with the winner and then just taking over that huge swing game. Marchand's definitely got an argument, dude. What are the odds now? Do we know what the odds are? Let me see. Conn Smythe.
I would have to say Marchand is in the lead now, because your lasting image of these Stanley Cup playoffs is what he has done.
Still Bennett as an overwhelming favorite at 165. Marchand is plus 440.
Oh.
Leon Draisaitl.
You know what it looks like? And this is what's cool about sports.
Put some money on that one.
You throw a little chili pepper on Brad?
This is what makes sports unbelievable, is that what Bill Zito has done. He has the same guys, right? But each year he's interjected new guys who are hungry for a cup, for a Stanley Cup, right? And this year is Marchand and is Seth Jones. And those guys, you can tell they look like guys who really, really, really haven't experienced what the Panthers did last year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even if you go to like the fringe moves too, of like Nate Schmidt getting picked up.
Right. Yeah.
Grier and Gadjevich now getting a chance really to play in this run.
So it's like the interjection of those new guys with the old guys kind of continues that path.
Mm-hmm.
And so because if you have the same team, what do they always say? Oh, they had a low. They played a lot of hockey the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Extended playoffs. They just look tired. But they have injected this team with some talent, some skill, and some hunger. And you can just see whenever those guys are playing. I mean, hell, Seth Jones plays more than anybody. Right? So, yeah, it's awesome.
So above Marchand, currently the two stars of the Oilers, up of them at plus 650. Draisaitl and McDavid both have the same odds. McDavid just scored his first goal. And Bob is plus 11,000.
Yeah. But I don't think, Connor McDavid, if they go all playoffs, he has 30 points with assists and goals. He has only scored one goal in the finals.
I'm going to tell you something right now. If the Cats win this series and they give it to McDavid again,
you're losing it.
I'm never respecting that trophy. They could throw that trophy in the wood chipper for all I care. They're dumbass, because that's what it'll be. Okay, you guys did it last year, amazing. They almost made the comeback, cool. Get the hell out of here.
I got to tell you, to be honest with you, I don't think Marchand's done.
With the Cats?
Just scoring and what he's been able to do.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's been and this is the thing that was huge about it, was you had to go, this was going to be the big game. They're all big games, obviously, but to get the game with one day off between,
right.
and you went to their barn to do it. I mean, the Panthers just tied a record for wins on the road to the playoffs. A record I hope they don't break. But it's really, really, really impressive to go and win this one. And Gretzky was like this too. He goes, I can't believe how flat the Oilers came out.
Right. Well, and here we go. I'm gonna pull a Tobin, and I never do this. Mm-hmm. But if I hear Edmonton being tired for having to travel all the way across when the Panthers plane was right behind theirs.
Yep.
Stop it. Stop it. You got a Mark Jackson your body. Not now. We trying to win the Stanley Cup.
Not now.
But that was crazy to me. They kept talking about how Edmonton might be a little exhausted from going back and playing at their house.
Oh, yeah. I mean, exhausted kiss my ass.
You should have, if anything, I was scared that the Panthers were going to be,
Definitely. I mean, especially with Marchand, the oldest guy on the team, looking because I would say he probably had his worst game the game beforehand. He just didn't look like the same.
Right.
But the last game, he looked like the best player on the ice. It was incredible.
Right. And what's amazing about all of this is that even with all that complaining, at least there's one guy who is giving the credit to the Panthers. And that is the one that everybody's listening to, and that's Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, but you can see Gretzky's a little disgusted with the Oilers because he was, even afterwards, he was like, he goes, we're sitting here talking about goalie controversy, game growing into game 6. He goes, they don't got to worry about Bob.
Right.
Right. They don't, Wayne.
Right.
You say that. They don't got to worry about Bob. Keep chanting Sergei, you idiots.
I just think that what we're watching here in South Florida is something special. And, when they started talking about how everybody's being tired and whatever, I remember earlier in the year when Paul Maurice talked about the stretch of hockey they had and how exhausted everybody was, right? And he's like, you're going to have moments like this. And so I think of the way they went about their business back then when they were going through that hella portion of their schedule, traveling, being gone, back-to-backs. No, remember that whole stretch where I think they lost 6 in a row?
Yeah.
They lost 6 in a row, and Paul Maurice said, yeah, it's brutal, but like we'll get through it.
We'll take a break here on the show. We'll hear a little bit from your Panthers as they are a game away from going back-to-back. Game 6 tomorrow in Sunrise. We'll take a break. Back after this.
else to carry me. There's nothing that's there for me at my door.
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Happy Monday to everybody out there. We got ourselves a Game 6 tomorrow night. Panthers looking to clinch this puppy up. And, of course, you can hear that game right here on 560 WQAM. So you were able to handle all of the hot tub situation. No worries, no trying to get out.
No worries. No trying to get out.
All right.
I was able to, basically me getting out of the jacuzzi is the equivalent to Pepper's playing. so
right as when the Serenians went in,
when I start getting out of the pool,
what did they go empty? They went empty net with like 5 minutes left almost.
Oh well, yeah, they were down 3 goals.
Yeah, they were down 3. Got it to
right.
within 2, and then Lusty had the empty netter. Any nerves, Frog Boy? What was your confidence level on Saturday night?
Well, we started good, so that kind of like eases things.
Last 3 games, the Panthers have started really well, which had been what had plagued them early on in the playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah. So I was excited about that.
Oh man, I saw a report from Smythe, and I hope it isn't true.
What?
I can't trust him, but he says, "Oh no, Tua is banging the drum tomorrow."
No. They can't do that. They can't do that. He's got to be trolling.
Yeah, I can't.
He's got to be trolling. There's no way the Panthers.
Oh no.
The Panthers would definitely the Panthers have to know. They have to be like, hey, sorry, we're going in house. Like, sorry, Tua. Have Tua. I don't care. Have Tua ride the Zamboni and shoot T-shirts.
I see. Unfortunate.
No.
Okay.
No.
Hold on. Okay.
They can't do that. No, they can't do that. Hockey? No, there's no.
Hold on.
No. Don't tell me that. Tell me Schmieden is being a bastard and that this is a troll job because we cannot. This has nothing to do. I think you guys all know we love to. We have an hour named after him.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, but if Jason Taylor still has the Dolphins stink on him,
Tua,
you can't have Tua do it. And not only can you not have Tua do it, I honestly think it will ruin the rest of his career. I just got to be honest. If the Panthers lose Game 6 and he bangs that drum, there's no coming back. He's already on thin ice. So I hope that's not true.
Look, I haven't seen any valid sources.
Steven said Marcos is internet illiterate.
And you know what? Hopefully this is another case of me being that. I would 100% take that over me being, unfortunately, correct. I see just random people tweeting about it. I don't see any trusted sources.
No Andy Slater.
No, about it. Nope. But unfortunately, you have me following people like Drew Starr or Slick Rick.
Oh, Drew Starr's in his bag right now, dude. You got to have him on notice. Drew Starr during the Kevin Durant trade rumors. This guy is like LeBron in Game 6, dude. He's got the eye of the tiger right now. I don't see any confirmation, but no, you can't do it. You can't do it. All right. It cannot be the case. All right. I don't care who else. It could be anybody, but it can't be a Dolphin. It just can't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the Dolphins. Maybe next year you guys can redeem yourself. I'm not banning Dolphins forever. I'm just banning you for the biggest game in Panthers history. So that's it. Sorry.
Got to be Bobby Lou, right?
I would like it to be Bobby Lou or somebody in the Panthers family, but but if it's not, then you're gonna go in across sport. It has to be Dwayne Wade, Eric Spoelstra, Pat Riley. Like that's it. That's the list.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Or Ariana Grande if we're going out of sports. That's the list.
For sure. That's the only celebrity. Those are the only cross sport.
Right. Otherwise, Panthers and family. Like that's what we'll do. That's what we do. Ricardo says Paul Maurice. What if we have Paul Maurice's cats do it? His actual cats. What are their names? Pepper and Perla?
Great. Brooks Koepka, is he available?
No, he's not. He's
Yeah,
not eligible.
he is.
He's not
but
eligible. No. You can't have Aaron Ekblad saying F. Brooks Koepka at the last parade and he gets to bang the drum. I'm sorry.
That's true.
Some things when you bring a parking cone to a game, you're just going to lose privileges on. I don't make the rules. They just are what they are. So, but I hope that's not true. Not that I don't love you, Tua, but you can't bang the drum. Sorry. Dolphins got that stink on them right now.
Yeah.
This is what it is. Was it 0-8?
0-8. That's
Yeah.
what I've been seeing. 0-8.
See ya.
Come on now.
See ya. The Dolphins, and if they did before they realized this is a thing, they should just be like, tell Tua's people being like, the craziest thing, the drum's broken. And he's like, what? Yeah. Wild. Somebody broke the drum.
All right, how's this for game ops? Tua goes to swing it, stops, says, no, crowd, hands the stick to Bobby Lou.
I would be okay with that.
That may save his career.
I would be okay. I think that would be smart by Tua. Or he could pull it like he could be like UD. Like he could be like UD when UD was next to Bam. He could be next to Bobby Lou.
Next to Bobby Lou.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll take a break. We'll hear some from Paul Maurice afterwards. We'll get to our road to repeat. We'll get into the KD stuff as well. Lots to get to off a busy weekend. Back after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Let's get to the road to repeat here, brought to us by our friends over at Celsius. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out when it's game time. Make Celsius a part of your play and get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of
your Florida Panthers. Oh,
Been
let me correct that. Vlad pointed out something.
What's that?
I need to change how I say that. Your Stanley Cup winning Florida Panthers.
All right, well, we got, task at hand. We got to
No,
get to
they won the Stanley Cup last year.
I understand, but you want to know something? Like now once you're on the brink, you got to roll it back a little bit. So
be humble.
Yeah. So I'm getting sent.
Wait. You're telling me, Mr. Heat in 5, Panthers in 5,
should have been
that
Panthers
I need
in
to
5.
tone it back?
Should have been Panthers in 5. I can't believe they
Wait.
Should have been Panthers in 5. I should have.
Do you know how ridiculous you sound right now?
It should have been Panthers in 5. We probably should have swept, honestly. We probably should have swept, honestly.
There we go. He's back.
We probably should have
He's
swept,
back.
honestly.
He had one little blip in the mindset, and that was to actually accuse me of doing the same thing he does.
All right,
and I wasn't even talking about this year, by the way.
So here's an update on Dolphins Gate. All right, so Empty Netters is a podcast, and they are the ones who claim that the Panthers are 0-7 in the times the Dolphin has banged the drum. Jameson Olive, of course, friend of the show, he went at them, and he said the Finns have brought plenty of playoff W's. In 2023, Dolphins were 2-0. In 2024, they were 3-1, and in 2025, 1-2 by my count. That's what he tweeted. Okay, so 1-2 is not 0-7, but it's still a losing record. So I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. Like, I can't take any chances on this. I believe Jameson. This is a man who's going to bring the facts on it, and I'm sure he's going to know what the Dolphin facts are. All right, but I'm sorry. I can't risk it. No Dolphins. That's it.
Man, that's a big jump, though. 1-2 and 0-8 are like, it's still a losing record.
And the only one to do it by Jameson's count is Jonnu Smith, who's barely a Dolphin because he's going to leave. So
he's going to leave.
I don't know, but he's in trade rumors. Drew Rosenhaus is saying yesterday it's all fluid. So I don't know. I just can't put the Dolphins there. I'm sorry. Too much. Next year, there's always next year. Fresh start. Obviously, you guys have done well in the past. This year, I think Mike McDaniel has a winning record, but I'm sorry. Okay, I'm not in the mood for games right now. Okay.
So you don't think the games are won and lost on the ice,
Leroy? Obviously, the most important stuff is what happened on the ice, but there's a reason I'm making you stay in your hot tub.
Because you don't like me. You want to see me dehydrating.
No, because you've already jinxed the Cats once. We have one game to win. That's all we need. And if you guys don't want to be here for the end of the tunnel, I don't know what to tell you. Do you want a parade or do you not want a parade? So Pedialyte up and get your ass in that hot tub. And no Dolphins banging the drum. Respectfully.
Anything else?
No, I want to hear from Paul Maurice. Can we hear from Paul Maurice? Paul Maurice talking about how Sam Bennett and Brad Marchand have been awesome in the playoffs. Here's what the Panthers head coach had to say about that.
If I knew that, I'd have played in the NHL. They're just certainly capable of processing the context of the game. They don't get too high, they don't get too low. Their energy level's high, they're very focused on the game. There's a mental toughness there, a mental capacity to stay within the game and not try to break it open, just wait, be patient. And that patience is a funny word in hockey. It doesn't mean sit back. I mean, they're aggressive men. But the patience, part of it is their experience.
Wow. So wise, Paul.
I got to tell you, he has a different way than Mike But he can also have a whole conversation without really saying nothing.
Yeah, but he says it's so much cooler.
I know. That's what I'm just. Well, now, can I say this? It sounds cooler when you're winning. Right? Because if you ain't winning, who is this kook?
Oh, yeah. Brad Marchand also speaking after the game. This was him on his highlight reel goal. Here is the Rat King.
He's tiny. I don't think people understand how small this dude is.
It started with a great stick at our line from Lusty, and then I just try to get inside and get a puck on net. I don't really, to be honest, know what happened. I haven't seen a replay. I just found its way in, so it's a good feeling.
Yeah, he probably watched that a little bit afterwards, though. You know he's watching the remixes of it, the TikTok edits of it. Yeah.
Looked like he did one of those NBA hop steps to get
Yes.
And then
you know who else does that? You know who does that a lot too is Connor McDavid. Oh my goodness. Did you see him cross over Bobrovsky? Yikes.
Good for him. Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Welcome to the Stanley Cup, Connor McDavid.
Listen, they lost and they'll probably lose the series.
I love how every Connor McDavid goal
that was a hell of a
I love how like
play.
Yeah, it was a great play. I love how every Connor McDavid highlight though is treated like 3 highlights. They're like, oh, Connor McDavid did something and he did it like 3 times. No, he did it once. All right, congratulations.
I have been so impressed at how they have kind of kept him from dominating this series.
Yeah, welcome.
Right? It's very impressive.
Sasha. That's what happens when you got the Selke. Just blanketing him. You see Barkov just take that puck like a man and set up Rhino for the goal. That's the captain, dude.
I mean, Marchand and Bennett made you forget, right? You still got Kachuk, Barkov, Reinhardt. You still have those 3 guys who basically won the cup last year.
Yeah, Kachuk's really turned it on too in this series. Like he really feels like he's I don't know if it's seeing the finish line all of a sudden, but he feels like he's turned it on in this series as well. Rhino's gone 3 straight with a goal. They gave the puck though. They gave it to Vanacek. They gave it to the backup goalie.
Why?
Because Gadjevich is just like he shows up every day. He's the best teammate, and so they gave it to Vanacek, and he goes and slaps the puck up there. They go one more, but do you see what he does before the games, right? Where he messes with the other goalie. It's great. He just trolls Skinner. He does this thing where like if Skinner goes glove over here, he goes glove over here. Like he just mirrors him and just copycats his moves just the best. Kind of like when a guy's like trying to warm up his kicks and like all of a sudden the other team's messing with him.
Yeah.
That's what he's just like. He's just there to bother and be a nuisance.
I'm not playing. Let's have some fun, baby.
Because Bob's too focused.
Yeah.
So he goes, but I don't know what they're gonna do with the goalie stuff. I didn't think Pickard was bad, but you know, what are you gonna do?
It's funny because
put Skinner out there on a short leash. You're gonna pull him after 1 goal.
When Bob was having his struggles a few years ago, at no point in time, I mean, they were very, very honest with it when Paul Maurice came in and said, "It ain't Bob, it's the defense in front of Bob." And I don't understand that. Are you saying when you pull a goalie like that, you're basically, or switch a goalie, you're basically saying, no, it's you.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of this stuff about like, oh, just they feel like it sparks confidence or whatever. And look, Pickard did good to close out that game. I mean, he did, give up a big old give up the goal to tie it, to send it to overtime. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I look. I'm revved up. I'm not counting chickens by any means going into tomorrow night, but
you are South Florida's #1 chicken counter.
No, that's not fair.
Oh my goodness.
No, that's not fair.
Dude.
No, that's not fair.
What does the phrase heating 5 mean?
I do not count chickens before they hatch. I don't do that.
What does the phrase heating 5 mean?
I'm Mr. Task at hand. I'm Mr. Task. No. First of all, it should have been Cats in 5. Second of all, I'm Mr. Task at hand.
Counting chickens.
No, it should have been Cats in 5, though.
But that's counting chickens.
I don't know when this, if this ends the way we want it to end, I may go back retroactively on the series and declare it a Cats in 5 series.
And just put the 1 loss on me?
Yes.
Remember Remember last year?
And Nico Mikola's balance.
Before the series started. Hey, think about this, Marcos. You want to know how unlucky I was and lucky I was at the same time? Before the series, I gave Tobin some money. 10 on the sweep, 10 on in 5, 10 and 6. And it got up 3-0. So I'm thinking I'm gonna make a little money. It went all the way to 7.
All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, obviously got an update on the Kevin Durant pursuit with some rumors and fodder, and the Miami Heat seem firmly in the mix with all this. We'll get into that coming up next. It's our Tua. It's our Tua. It's our Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Tonga Vailoa. Not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort. Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua, Tua, Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Can go to hell. Tua Tagovailoa. Dolphins quarterback.
Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of
Hour 2 of the program, ladies and gentlemen. But no drum for you, Tua. No drum. Go enjoy vacation. You enjoy vacation, dude. Just enjoy vacation. Let's get to our headlines here for hour number 2, which are brought to you by Doral Kia. Doral Kia, choose from over 500 new Kia miles in inventory like the Sportage, Sorrento, and Telluride. Remember, when it comes to Kia, great deals are at Doral Kia. The Marlins, they swept the Nationals with a 3-1 win. Dane Myers went deep for the fish. Yuri Perez had his second start. Went much smoother than the first.
All right.
By the way, speaking of pitching, Shohei Ohtani returning to the mound tonight.
Yeah. They say he's only going to pitch an inning, though.
Yeah, like an inning or two. That's it. Yep.
Yeah.
But he's
I
back for.
forgot that he pitched
Did you?
because he's just so good at everything else. I'm
He
like,
won a Cy Young.
Won the Cy Young. He's
Literally
he
pitched.
went 50-50 last year. And that dude, I mean, he loves playing in Miami. Shame we
Yeah.
can't afford him.
Yeah.
The big news yesterday in the NBA, the Memphis Grizzlies traded Desmond Bane to the Orlando Magic in exchange for 4 unprotected first-round picks, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Cole Anthony. That's a lot for Desmond Bane.
I'm curious as to, like, I was listening about this earlier. Is it more about the length of the contract and not necessarily who it is? Because he just signed an extension and Kevin Durant has 1 year left. So
Well,
Bane
it has
would
to
be
do
more
with
appealing.
it has to do with, I mean, the first thing, if people are wondering, like, why is he going for him more than Kevin Durant is? I mean, Kevin Durant is 37 or going to be 37 before the season. Desmond Bane's 26.
Right.
So like that to me wasn't surprising. It's just he's still the third best Grizzly, and this goes back to the Rudy Gobert thing where it's like, or the Mikal Bridges thing where you're like, you
What?
trade Mikal Bridges for 5 first-round picks, and he's going to be the third, fourth best player on your team.
You're never gonna, if they don't win, you're never gonna complain about Mikal Bridges.
Right. Rudy Gobert. People will complain about Rudy Gobert because he's Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
But you give up 4 first-round picks for Rudy Gobert, and it just felt like this big overpay on the market. Now, I get that one of the picks is already set because it's this year's pick, and it's like 16. They have, and one of the picks isn't theirs. It's a Suns pick for next year. But I don't know. It just felt like a lot for Desmond Bane. That's all.
Right. It does.
Desmond Bane's he's a very good player. I'm not besmirching Desmond Bane. I would have loved to have Desmond Bane on the Heat. Trust me. Like, but would I've been like, if the Heat were to give up 4 first-round picks and it would have been for Desmond Bane, I've been like, that's our move.
Yeah. So my question is that when you look at some of these teams that are doing these things, they're thinking of where they would be with this player and saying, I'd give up 4 20+ first-round picks, right? It's not like you're trading the guy and you might accidentally give up a top 5 pick. You're adding this guy to your team because you think you're going to make a run or you're going to be competitive or whatever you think.
Right.
And those first rounders aren't going to be that good anyway. So
right. And
are you really giving up a lot if it plays out the way you want?
I think you're giving up a lot because the league, this is the thing, is the league limits your ability to trade picks. So like that's what the problem is. It's not that like, hey, the picks are not going to be that high. It's just it puts you in this jail of you need to make sure that is the amount or that is going to be a pick that works out for you. Even if 3 of these are on your own, like you look at somebody like Drew Holiday going to the Bucks, like that worked out tremendously for them. They gave up 3 first-round picks, but they are paying the piper on that right now because they have no arsenal. So you need to make sure that
plan for that though. They didn't care. Like the basketball is such now that if you think you're within breathing room, then you make a deal that may handicap you 3 years down the line, but you're going to have a run of 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, but if I was Orlando, I'm just saying, like if I'm Orlando, and maybe this is because they feel like they're Orlando and maybe no marquee star wants to be there, but like if supposedly a marquee star is gonna shake loose at some point, like Desmond Bane's the guy you're gonna unload the clip for, like that's all. He's very good. Like it's like I would love to have
think about Adam with
Paolo and Franz Wagner.
Yeah. So now you're talking about another potential 20-point scorer with 2 other guys, right? So maybe they just view it differently and like, yeah, this guy can get us over the hump right now, and we have him long term. The other thing is, the higher up the food chain you go as far as stars, the more hurdles you have to jump to get that star. Some of them have no trade clauses. Some of them will only go to certain teams, and you know their team is trying to accommodate that. There's a lot of other things that go into it. So now when you're looking at trade possibilities or adding somebody because of all those other things, so the Kevin Durant situation, if you want to trade for Giannis is going to, you know, he's going to have a say-so in where he goes if he gets traded. You look at other players, Bane becomes number 1 on the list as far as available as the guys you can actually get by just trading for him.
Yeah, but he's available because you gave up a friggin' haul for him. Like,
yeah, but could you have done that for John Morant?
Would you have? Yeah,
they said they wouldn't trade John Morant. Could you have done it for KD? What if KD doesn't want to go there? You know, I'm talking.
I think hold on though. KD doesn't have a no trade clause. Like if they wanted to give up 4 first-round picks for a year rental of KD, then like KD would be on the Magic.
I got you.
You know, like even if you want to do right by KD, which maybe they do, or KD, like so, but I don't know. It just seems like a lot for Desmond Bane. That's all. I like if it was 3, I think I would have been like, all right.
So I thought of it and I'm like, Orlando got to steal because I think Bane will be more of a contributor than Mikal Bridges.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think he's a better player than Mikal Bridges. Like
right.
he's shown great punch. He's a good shooter. He's like the only thing I think you could say as a critique is like, you know, when Ja has missed his time and it's been, you know, Desmond Bane being the top guard, like they weren't great, but I don't know like what to judge on that as far as like, hey, you still, when you lose in a salary cap sport, a guy as good as Ja, like you're obviously going to have some repercussions on it.
Right.
But anyway,
so you're saying you wouldn't have did it?
Seems like a lot for Desmond Bane. That's all.
What if I told you 2 first-rounders, Wiggins and Jaime?
For Desmond Bane?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have done that, Jill.
Okay. I mean, that, to me, to be honest with you, that's a better deal than 4 first-rounders.
Well, they had to take on Kentavious Caldwell-Pope's contract. I think they said that was part of why they had to put an extra pay. A little sweetener in there, too.
Yeah. So, I get it. Man.
Shmi then says the trade didn't make sense because who were they bidding against? Yeah, and that's kind of going with that goes back to the Gobert thing, like back in
it's the Cleveland Browns and Deshaun Watson.
Right. It's
all things that when you're in a market, right, that people don't find to be appealing or your team hasn't been very good.
Marcos was furious about it yesterday.
You have to make those deals that other teams wouldn't make.
I mean, 4? It's another Rudy Gobert situation. I understand.
I think he's better than Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, but now it just messes up the market. I'm tired of us always being on the brink of acquiring someone, and then the market's like, wait, 1 second. 4
Yeah, but different circumstances. Trading for somebody with 1 year left is a lot different than trading for somebody that just signed an extension.
I don't think it ruins a KD mark, but like if somebody else does, like let's say that he don't get KD, and let's say like if Desmond Bane goes for 4 first round, what the hell does Giannis go for? Like what the hell does what is anybody? The fact that Luka only went for 1, Jesus.
Yeah, but you got Anthony Davis.
Yeah, but you got Anthony Davis who's like broken down all the time and 30.
Well, look,
and got rid of a guy who's 5 years younger than him.
Hold on. I did not say that Dallas didn't lose in that trade. What I'm saying is when you pair up why it was only 1 first rounder, it was because you got AD.
Dude, it's crazy he only went for 1 first rounder.
So you think they should have got multiple first rounders and AD?
Leroy, he went for the same amount of first rounders as Terry Rozier.
Yeah, but you didn't get a reciprocal player. You didn't have to give up a reciprocal player.
Don't use words like reciprocal. You never use that in your everyday language.
Yes, I do.
You've never used reciprocal.
Yes, I do.
Nope.
It's a big word for me, dog.
Hey, I gave Big Spoon a kiss, and I asked her, "Are you going to reciprocate?"
Take a break. Get into the KD stuff after this. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. Leroy, can we get a weather update from the Desmond and Dover law firm, youraccidentattorneys.com? Free consultations 24/7. Call them at 866-954.
Desmond and Dover, one big happy family. Yeah. All right, it's partly cloudy out by me. By the way, yesterday it was hot as hell, but not a cloud in the sky. Beautiful day on Father's Day. Right now we got the winds coming out. Looks like they're coming out of the east southeast at about 15 miles an hour. I'm looking at some of these clouds. Look like they have a little moisture in them. Might get a little passing shower here or there. It's that time of year, so always look for it in the evening out west. And I would say right now it's right around 88 to 90 degrees.
How do you do, Froggy?
He did amazing, and you know why? He's a golfer. Currently, right now, the temperature in Davie, Florida is 90 degrees already. It has been hot, 20% chance of rain, and expect scattered showers tonight.
So, yeah, on Saturday night, I was freaking out a little bit because not only was the Panthers game going on, Game 5, but as I was calling Dirty Boxing 2, having a great time. Bloody. A lot of elbows.
Oh,
yeah.
Did you have to put on your blood protector?
Nothing happened in my corner, actually, Frog Boy, so I was okay. I was able to avoid all, but I tell you what, the one dude, one boxer, it was only one boxer on the card, and he fought Francisco Trinaldo, who's 46 years old, but looks incredible. And Francisco Trinaldo, comes out, he takes a right hand to the body, and Francisco Trinaldo's like, cool. You ever have an elbow in your face? And he just uncorked 4 elbows in a row to this dude. And, turned his face into Swiss cheese. It was brutal.
So the boxer went for the body blow.
Yeah.
Like a normal boxing event.
Yep.
And then the other gentleman showed him what the dirty in dirty boxing stands for.
That's right.
Gave him the old elbow.
That's right. Yeah.
Right.
He did.
Right.
But as I'm looking, I'm like, because I thought I was about to do whale noises on the air. I thought I was going to be like, hit him with a left. Because I thought we got Kevin Durant. I really thought there was a second there where I thought the Miami Heat had landed Kevin Durant.
Okay. As a friend.
Yeah.
And as a person that wants to see you move forward in this, you can't do two things at once.
What do you mean?
You can't watch one of your teams and do play-by-play for boxing.
Right. I wasn't watching.
Nobody's going to understand your enthusiasm.
I think people would understand. I had a ton of people coming up to me after the fight, and they're like, Durant? I had no less than 6 people come up and do that. They're like, Durant? We getting Durant? Everybody was talking about it afterwards. And they're like, that's people weren't even talking Panthers with me. They're like, Durant? That's all I got afterwards. And if you guys missed it, what I misconstrued as the Heat getting Durant was Shams Charania reporting that the Miami Heat, this is his report, the Miami Heat, San Antonio Spurs, and Houston Rockets are Kevin Durant's preferred trade destination, sources told ESPN Saturday night. People across the NBA have been made aware in recent days that those are the teams Durant would commit with a long-term extension. He's on an expiring $54.7 million deal. Suns have made it clear to 6 to 8 teams seriously interested in him that they will make the best deal for the franchise, even if it means trading Durant to a team outside of his preferred list. Teams around the NBA have been anticipating Durant would be moved ever since the Suns engaged at the trade deadline. Once he is traded, he is eligible to sign a 2-year extension on July 6th worth as much as $122 million. But the Heat, one of the 3 teams that he'd be willing to sign with. That's good. I mean, it's not bad. He wants to be here. Now, I got to tell you something. Something scared the holy hell out of me this week because, I'm boots on the gram. And I started following this Rich Kleiman fella who's like his business partner and associate.
Mm-hmm.
And he posted this week, and I did not feel like this was a good omen. I was like a little scared. But he posted this week a little photo with an old friend of ours with Kevin Durant in Paris this weekend. Do you have that picture, Jennifer, for our audience?
Ooh, okay.
Kevin Durant was at PSG this weekend with old big face coffee himself, Mr. Got My Joy Back, Jimmy Butler. So I thought when this happened, I thought we were sunk. Thankfully, later, Shams brought us back in. But when I saw this, I was like, oh, no. Oh, no.
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 Oh, you're going to go there, KD? Let me tell you something about them.
He ain't going because they wanted him back, and he didn't want to go back there. So why would he want to go back now?
You talking about Golden State?
Yeah.
No, I don't mean it like – listen, I don't mean he was going to go to Golden State, but I was like, oh, no, I don't need Jimmy telling Pat Riley stories.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy's like –
But the thing about KD is, of all the guys that come with baggage, all of his baggage has absolutely nothing to do with being dedicated and playing basketball. So, listen, sometimes in life, you have a problem with somebody, and it's a you problem. And I readily admit, if you have a problem with KD and you're a fan of a team, it is never about basketball.
Yeah, but here's the thing. And I don't disagree with you. He handles his business differently than Jimmy Butler, although both can be curmudgeons.
Dude, I don't care about curmudgeon. I don't care about stank attitude. I don't care about none of that. As long as the guy does his job and puts everything he can into winning, I can live with the other stuff. The other stuff is a me problem.
That fine, but it doesn't matter. They're still sitting on a Saturday afternoon in France, and Jimmy Butler can be like, Pat Riley cried the last time I saw him, right? He goes, what do you mean he cried? He goes, he cried. Unhinged. And he goes,
okay.
And he's like,
but you know how KD would look at that?
What?
He would put the old Tobin twist on it. That guy's committed. He really wants to win.
Maybe. I hope so.
But there is nothing that KD has done that would ever say to me and to most that when he's not on a team, he's not going out and doing everything he can to win. And if that's the starting point to having a player on your team, sign me up.
But
because we've gotten into so much crap the last couple of years with the other stuff.
Yeah, but even during Love Island, there's always an Astron challenge where like you're with your squeeze, and then they're like, it's called Meet the X. And then like they'll iPad in some X, and she'll be like, he sucks his thumb, right? And then just leaves.
Ooh.
Just has a weird thrown out there. Now, again,
that's okay.
Thankfully,
what would you say about Kevin Durant? He's curmudgeon. He's grumpy. To me, he's misunderstood. Just the Heat fans in general. There is nothing that KD has ever done
slimy
that says, with all the other stuff you say about him, sensitive, this, that, all that could be true. Okay? But when it comes to giving a guy an extension and paying him 50, 60 million a year, you've never had to worry about KD going on the court and playing basketball to the best of his ability. I can live with everything else.
And a breathtaking basketball player.
I can live with everything else. See, I ain't got to worry about, playoff KD. I ain't got to worry about, he going to crank it up for K. KD's always cranked it up. And I'm not saying he was great every game. But what I'm saying is, if there's one thing you didn't have to worry about with KD, and you don't have to worry about, is him going on the floor and going on the court and giving you what he has.
Gogo says paying KD instead of Jimmy, even though he hasn't carried a team like Jimmy. Here's the thing, though, and this is and I've heard this point made, and mind you, I was Team Pay Jimmy. I think here's what the thing that you have to understand, guys, and you can agree with it or not agree with it, but let's just take the Heat's philosophy on it. The Heat do not pay for past performance. They don't. Like, They didn't with D-Wade. They didn't give D-Wade the Kobe deal. D-Wade thought he was getting the Kobe deal. They didn't give him the Kobe deal. I would have loved to pay D-Wade, but they don't do it. And they didn't pay Jimmy Butler, not because Jimmy Butler was a pain in the ass, which, yeah, he had things that were a bit of a pain in the ass off the court, but the reason they didn't want to pay him was because Jimmy Butler plays a very brutish, muscly, physical style that probably isn't going to age as well as Kevin Durant, who's 7 foot tall with the prettiest jump shot we've ever seen. It's just not going to age as well. So I get that. Just on resume, you're like, you wouldn't pay your own guy 1 extra year. You're going to pay Kevin Durant 2 extra years after this. But it's not a bet even on attitude. I think that's purely on Jimmy Butler gets a majority of his offense having to throw his neck and body at the rim, and that's going to wear down. You just saw it tap out basically in 2 rounds in the playoffs now. That's why Jimmy Butler didn't get paid by the Heat. Anything else that they want to spin, it's not that it's not a reason, but that's the biggest reason. That's the biggest reason.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, I was a little nervous when I saw that picture. I didn't like it.
Why? You
That's
think, and I would say that KD looks at Jimmy and say, that's because you wasn't focused on basketball, brother. I'm going to be focused on basketball.
You think he tells him that?
I'm thinking that's what he thinks. Like, if he says something negative about Pat Riley and the Heat organization or whatever, hey, man, you know, I don't know if you want to do it. He goes, do what? Play basketball and have all the focus on basketball? Right? I think KD wants to go in and play on a team with a group of guys and there's no drama, right? That's it. That's it.
Yeah, and I don't even think. I don't think Durant would have wanted to have wanted been traded from Phoenix if they didn't try and ship his ass out there because those geniuses thought somebody would take Bradley Beal's contract.
Right. But you have to, like, so I don't care if I don't even like KD, right? As an individual, it doesn't matter because if he's playing for your team, you know you're going to get your money's worth every night. And that's something that we have struggled with for the last couple of years with Jimmy Butler. Like, even watching Golden State, when Steph got hurt, right? And you think Jimmy gonna come out and ball and he shoot the ball 9 times. You ain't gotta worry about that crap with KD.
No.
So while we're sitting here talking about the two situations, they're two different players, two different people.
Definitely.
And
agree.
to say, well, Jimmy got us to a point where, dude, you're telling me, let me get this straight, that if, and I'm curious to know what people think of this. If you had a choice right now to have Jimmy or KD, you think Jimmy would do more for the Miami Heat than KD? Go ahead. We already know the answer. No chance, dude. Come on.
I mean, like, look, the Warriors just they tried to make this decision because they wanted KD before Jimmy.
Right.
You
right.
know?
So even to them, Jimmy was the second choice.
No, that's what he likes. He's a Robin now.
But again, like, just from basketball perspective, I know KD gets hurt, right? But he's played more games than Jimmy.
Yeah, it's not even about look, everyone when they get older are going to miss games. But
But Jimmy wasn't missing games because he's getting older. Jimmy just got to the point where he fed into the I'll turn it up.
There definitely was that. There was definitely an ego of playoff Jimmy's going to be here when playoff Jimmy's going to be here.
That's your fault.
That's
your fault. That's your fault.
I don't think that. Why does everything have to be on me?
No, you know what?
Why can't adults be?
Wait a minute.
Why can't adults be responsible for adults?
You had me like boiling a pot roast in the damn jacuzzi.
That's because you jinxed the Cats.
Okay then. Fine. I ate that and I dehydrated the next 2 games. Okay? But let me explain something to you. Every year Jimmy was here.
Mm-hmm.
You've said these words to me. Don't worry about it. Playoff Jimmy's coming.
Yep.
January. First of all, you start off with, Jimmy don't crank it up till January.
Punxsutawney Phil.
Then that lingered on. Oh, now it's playoff Jimmy.
What are you smiling at me for?
Just sneaking in a box of Punxsutawney Phil.
It's like Groundhog Day. It's that time.
You see what I'm saying?
That's great.
If Jimmy sees his shadow, it means it's time to turn it on.
Don't you at least want a player? You ain't got to think about that. Like you look at your star and you look at somebody like KD and say,
"Well, right now I
got to worry about him."
Right now I have neither, and so I want Kevin Durant. Like I just want Kevin Durant. I mean, the damage is done with having Jimmy.
I get how you are consumed by the name, and KD's a great player.
Yeah,
isn't he top 10 all-time scoring? Maybe be higher.
Maybe higher.
Okay. And I get all that. But let me ask you a question. If the KD thing doesn't work out, you still got to make some changes. What else is out there?
Gonna have to go snooping around.
So you don't have a backup plan?
Right now, I don't see a backup plan.
No.
Do you?
I don't.
This was the backup.
I don't know who's out there.
Not because Giannis wants to stay in Milwaukee.
And the KD thing, we still ain't talking about who you have to give up.
Yeah, we'll get into that. We kind of know. We've talked about who the people. It's probably going to have to be either Ware or Jovic. Ware, Jovic, the 20th pick, probably another pick.
I'm gonna hate to say this.
Careful.
After long thought and understanding of our situation down here, I'm going to say I would keep Ware over Jovic.
That to me. We'll take a break. We'll get back into it, but we got to do your game balls and game bums next.
All right.
This guy's a ball. All right. It's that time, ladies and gentlemen. Leroy Horde gathers us around the locker room and hands out his weekend game balls and game bombs. What do you got today, Leroy?
My game ball is definitely going to go to JJ Spawn. Something to be said about the mentality of a person that has a lead, loses the lead, was probably, he started off with 5 bogeys, 5 straight 5s. So he's like 7 shots out of it and ends up coming back and birdieing the last 2 to win. Now, he didn't need the birdie on the last hole, but nobody was parring that hole. So what he did was pretty amazing. And it was, I like watching the carnage of, seeing guys at the top of their game struggle like normal folks. So it was fun to watch. Cool for him. He is built like Marcos. So
I'll not be able to escape.
Not Lance anymore.
So it was pretty cool. My game bump, and let me say this. Very rarely, and I've always defended these people. I've always gotten on my friends, on Tobin, for being such fans that everything you hear on TV seems like it's going against your team, right?
I just call it being observant.
But if I notice it, and I notice how they talk about Edmonton and the excuses they give to them when both teams are playing under the same circumstances, and it should be, look at even after the long flight, how the Panthers are still playing with energy.
Yep.
And this is what the Panthers do over a 6 or 7 game series, is they wear you down, they beat you up. And this is what's happened for the last 2+ years. And for nobody to acknowledge that and merely just put it on a long trip and not just sit here and be amazed at how the Panthers can play this way after all the travel. And we know, because Paul Maurice told us this, we went through this earlier in the year with a 6-game losing streak, being away from home for like half a month or a month, a quarter, 3/4 of a month.
Don't forget about the Finland trip.
Absolutely. So these guys are ready for this. But for you not to even acknowledge the fact that maybe it's because they are better prepared. Maybe it's because they've been through this before. Maybe it's because the mental aspect of this is they're tougher and stronger. The fact that you don't even acknowledge all these traits of this Panther team, you're cheating the people that are watching these games and that are just visiting hockey and don't know how to appreciate it, because the only thing you're talking about is what Edmonton is doing is garbage. So you get my game bump.
Dude, great job. Proud of you. Let's give it up for Leroy. That's what I'm talking about. Had a boy.
Had to be said.
Man, does tomorrow not feel like Christmas, though? Like, the Cup's going to be in the building tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. So, I got a different, I'm going to save it for my oh no.
Okay.
But, oh my goodness.
Got to say, if they want to take a little pit stop, have the Cup give a little pre-visit to us. We're all for it, Make sure it's okay. Make sure it's shined up real nice.
Hey, I don't know why. No, don't bring it in this building.
Why?
Don't bring it in our building. You know why?
Why?
Because the salespeople don't know the rules.
Well, you think they'll touch it?
They just want the photo op. They don't care about the circumstances or nothing. They want to send a picture, put it on Facebook. Oh, look, I got a picture with the Stanley Cup, hugging it and all that. No.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I got a cool selfie this weekend.
Of what?
Oh, did you?
I got a cool selfie this weekend. We were doing the broadcast in Dirty Boxing.
Yeah.
And who comes up behind us but the GOAT himself, Johnny Bones Jones, and he's like, "Hey, selfie." And I thought he was just going to do it with Mike Perry. I'm like, you don't know who I am. You don't get it. But he gave me like the little. So I was like, I was not going to insist on being the boob, but he gives me the old shoulder welcome in, like, hey,
Hey,
you
get in
I was
on
like,
this.
yeah.
Oh.
I was like, and I was like, not to be weird. I was like, can somebody get me that picture? I'm like, how do I get that picture? How do I get the picture?
The funny thing about that is that's how I feel when I'm with any fight or boxing with you. I'm just the sidekick. Right?
I was like, he doesn't want me to. And I was like, I got the shoulder.
Yeah. I think your name is in those circles. Because you know
growing.
all of the managers, all the trainers, all the up and comers. You know what I mean? So
that's the GOAT, though, dude. Both GOATs were in the building. John Jones and Amanda Nunes were in the building.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. The Dirty Boxing.
Dude, it was stars. Hey, you know who else was there? John Smith.
Whoa.
John Smith was there. He looked, you know what he looked like?
What did he look like?
Looked like a guy who deserves a contract to me. I don't know. Looked like a guy who deserves some munion.
Man,
that's starting to bother me even more. That you've paid so many guys that now the guys you need to pay you can't.
Yep.
That's how your team goes sideways. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Are they potentially waiting for Jalen Ramsey's money or something?
It could be. It could be.
Haven't found any takers for him, huh? I thought that was going to be. Everybody told me in June that thing was going to be done June 1st.
I mean, no, that was only him.
I thought he was like. He's like a next chapter awaits.
The only person that has said that was Jalen Ramsey when he said 5 more days.
He said
Nobody
5 more
else
days.
said nothing.
And then he said next chapter awaits. I'm like, what are you, the Game of Thrones author? What the hell's taking so long? Let's go.
I think part of it is it's not even the compensation, right? This has to do more with who has that amount of cap space and how much are the Dolphins willing to pay? Because if the Dolphins eat some of it, he would have already been gone. But they don't want to eat none of it. So that's where the problem comes in, is that it's not whether teams want Jalen Ramsey, it's that these teams think they're going to get Jalen Ramsey and only have to pay, say, 50 or 75% of his salary. And the Dolphins are like, And that's where these contracts are. It's not about the player.
I guess the thing that's interesting about that, though, why do they come out so honest about it, right? Like, Jalen Ramsey could have gone whatever this camp and nobody, I guess maybe it would have leaked, but Chris Grier came straight out. He goes, yeah, we both decided it's best for parties to move on. Like,
you know why?
Wouldn't it put you in a better negotiating place?
You want me to tell you why?
Yeah.
Because Jalen Ramsey's a talker.
Well.
And you got to get ahead of certain things. So you just get ahead of it before it gets ridiculous and let it be known this is what's happening. Right? Because guess what? If what you're saying is true and it makes sense, and I say to Jalen Ramsey, we're going to keep this hush until after minicamp so that, we can go about it the right way. You think Jalen Ramsey is looking at it that way, or he looking at it as, oh, y'all trying to slide this under the rug? So then he's like, I got to make a stink. So that's why you get ahead of it.
Man.
Because now you don't want Jalen Ramsey shooting 3-legged threes or 1-legged threes. Can't
Love
shoot
John
3-legged
Jones,
threes.
dude.
He only got
Hey, Tom Aspinall can kick rocks, by the way.
Oh, now you're a John Jones.
I've always been a John Jones guy.
Old Jones
That's my
guy.
go, dude. I don't need
Oh.
you give me a charger shot now. Chip Cheerio.
You loved old gasoline hands not that long ago. Now you're a Bones Jones guy.
Always been a John Bones Jones guy.
Hey, that picture though didn't hurt.
No, dude.
Hey, you are a phony.
That's not true. I've been a John Jones. I've said
You know
he
what?
gets to do what he wants.
They showed a guy during the Panthers game, right? He had a Panthers sweater on.
Oh, I saw that.
And then when the Edmonton scored, he took it off and had an Edmonton sweater on. That's you.
No, I've been a dude. I have been John Bones Jones since the start. I don't give a rat's ass about Tom Aspinall. And by the way, I'll never pick anybody to beat John Jones in a fight. Never.
No.
Never.
He got just enough crazy and just enough talent to make him twice as great.
I honestly wouldn't fight if I was him. I'd be like, whatever, dude. You want to, hey, congrats. You're the heavyweight champion. Go fight nobody because there's nobody to fight.
Yeah.
Is he so Aspinall's the champ, right?
No, John's technically the champ. John's undisputed.
Because I would have said this is that even if Aspinall was the champ, the draw is John Jones.
100%.
Right.
Not even a question.
People come out of the woodwork to see John Jones fight. But the UFC doesn't really compensate guys like that. You think that keeps him out of the ring? Because he doesn't have to fight?
Supposedly the UFC, the reports are the UFC ponied up and that it's all on John. Like John's got the money he wants. It's just a matter of, but a lot of people also think that the hipster conspiracy right now is this is all a ruse. All this back and forth about not fighting is all for publicity. And we're going to get to International Fight Week in a couple weeks, and they're going to announce it for MSG in November.
Oh,
that's
really?
that's the wink conspiracy that's going on.
So why are they fighting in MSG and not in Vegas?
It's always one of their cars. It's like one of their stops. And
yeah, but I would definitely like you're going to generate more money in Vegas.
Well, yeah, I mean, they could do end of year because they always do. November's always MSG, which they always like to put but like John, I think has done MSG a couple times, and they like to put him there. But they could do end of the year and do John Jones, or he might not fight again. I don't know. But the hipster conspiracy is wink that this is all a ploy. He's just agitating the fans because he loves to troll.
Right.
No word on, like, I know this was not discussed like thoroughly, but I know it was rumored of a Francis Ngannou John Jones matchup. That's not gonna happen, right?
Well, that was the other thing that annoyed. Like he came out and Francis was like, I'd love to fight Francis now, because he knows how to badger people. He's just like, I'll fight Francis now. He's got a name. Tom Aspinall, no name. It's just messing with Aspinall. It's great. We'll take a break. Somebody got caught in 4K this weekend. That's next.
Midday Sports
That's that.
Yeah. This young.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program as the Florida Panthers, they win game 5 on Saturday night, 5-2. It was Goosey's galore. Brad Marchand killing it. Sam Bennett, awesome. Sergei Bobrovsky, another dub for Bobby. I just like when Gadjevich looks at him in the locker room and he goes, boys, great game. Bob was Bob. And you just know what that means. You just know. Volcast. Ready to shut this bleep down and get his second cup tomorrow night. I can't wait. I'm really like, I'm on edge. Maybe it's because I couldn't watch the game live on Saturday night, but like I can't wait to see the Cats. Now I did come back. I was wired after coming back from the fights. I watched that puppy. I watched that puppy back. It was good.
Right.
It was good. But you were right. That panel on TNT, so sad.
Like I don't and keep in mind how far it has to go for me to say something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Blatant Canadian homerism.
Except for Gretzky.
He tries to keep it, but you can tell Gretzky was disappointed. He was hurt. He was hurt. Dog.
Being disappointed, but still telling it like it is two different things.
Our headlines are brought to you by Doral Kia. Doral Kia, choose from over 500 new Kia miles in inventory at the Sports, Sorrento, and Telluride. Remember, when it comes to Kia, the great deals are at Doral Kia. So if you guys missed it over the weekend, Sean's reported the Heat, Spurs, and Rockets are all Kevin Durant's preferred trade destinations. Mark Stein reported this weekend the Knicks would have also been on that list, but Kevin Durant backed out when they weren't interested really in pursuing him. According to Brian Windhorst, that none of these 3 teams have gotten the Suns very excited with their offers so far. So everybody trying to fleece them.
So the Knicks, who don't have a coach,
yep,
are wondering why they're out of the race.
Maybe they thought they had to ask for permission.
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. So you are so arrogant that you can go sign a top 10 all-time scorer without a coach and think that won't be a problem?
It's going to be a problem. I think they're talking to who? The guy who was in Memphis, Taylor Jenkins.
They're talking to all guys that makes me believe they probably should have kept their damn coach. Right? So now you're up against it. You can't go unring that bell. And now you're going to end up hiring a guy who might not be as good as the coach that you had. That in itself is laughable.
It's crazy. But according to Windhorst, apparently the offers haven't been too great so far for KD.
Well,
I don't think they're going
to right away.
Yeah, I don't think that they're going to be that great for KD. I think if they came out of this and they were able to get, a pick and a very intriguing young guy, I think you should be pretty happy with that. Right. Considering what it is. Now, which young guy do they think is the best out of all that? Whether the Rockets don't seem that keen on giving up any of their good ones. Like, if it's Jalen Green, I mean, you already have Devin Booker and you're stuck with Bradley Beal. So I don't know what that does for them unless they're going to just release Bradley Beal. They don't seem like they want to give up Smith. The Spurs don't want to give up anybody. Plus, they got the number 2 pick. I think the Spurs are kind of feeling like, could we be the Thunder in 3 years? Should we even go for KD? Right. And then you have the Heat, who's kind of in this tweener spot. They're in the weaker conference by far. I think if they give up Ware, they get him. But I think they don't want to give up Ware.
I agree. I agree. I definitely.
I will say this though. If look, and we loved Ware. I think we bet on him to win Rookie of the Year. We should have cashed out though. If they do end up giving up Ware, I'm gonna be okay with it because I do think there's an element of the Heat. Let's say it like this, Leroy. I know Eric Spoelstra was driven nuts last year, right? Between the Jimmy stuff, between having to coach the young guys, which he doesn't love. Let's be real about it. And people are wondering, hey, can this guy coach offense anymore? Does it work? You give Eric Spoelstra Kevin Durant, an all-time talent. You give a guy who's one of the best scorers of all time. I'd imagine the Heat's offensive woes are going to go away in a big way. You know? And I do think that, you know, there has to be a little bit of the element of like, hey, do they do it for Spo? Because, you know, like, he really wants to coach veterans. He doesn't want to coach young guys as much.
Yeah, but you can't be an organization who one of their recipes for success have been developing young talent and then say, I don't want to deal with young talent.
I get it. But
that sounds hypocritical.
But you're also in this spot where it's like you also have two guys who aren't super young. You have Bam, who's going to be 28 next month, and you have Tyler, who's going to be 26 in the middle of the year. Like, these are not guys who are young anymore. These are prime guys.
I get it, but I would say, in all honesty, I think the team would be better off and would be filling a bigger void if they kept Ware and got rid of Jovic, if that was the two choices. Simply because now I don't want Bam to go back. Putting Bam at the 5 is almost like he's going backwards in his career. You know, he's developed all these new skills. Now it's just a matter of putting it all together. And now you're going to say, now go play center.
Wayne says, Ware stays, Jovic can peace out.
Yeah. And it's
say
not
it like that, but like, I don't like, Jovic, though.
Yeah, but you're getting KD. They play the same damn position.
Jovic is positionless. He can do whatever he wants.
Okay. And KD can't?
Of course he can.
Okay. I mean, who else you got in mind? They want a big.
Oh, I don't think Hawkins gets it done. No shot. Unless they give him like 3 first-round picks.
No, I'm done with that.
Apparently that's not enough anymore. Apparently that's not enough.
Nobody hates Desmond Bane more than you right now. Or are you mad at Desmond Bane or the Magic?
No, I don't blame the Magic. The Magic, no one's going to willingly go to the Magic. So they're stuck drafting talent or overpaying. So I totally get it. But, like, what are we doing here, guys? Like, what are we
It's
doing?
a lot. It is a lot for a guy who's never made an all-star team. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It is a lot. He's good. He's good. I don't mean to be like the guy with the windbreaker at the poker room. He's good. He's good.
Did you ever consider, though, what this means for the Grizzlies? Was it just an offer they couldn't? Was it an offer they couldn't refuse?
I think it's pretty, like, I think here's what it is. The Grizzlies got to pay Jaren Jackson this summer. They had Jalen Wells, who was awesome last year. So I think you're seeing it. Like, you're not going to pay 3 people $200 million on a team.
Right.
You know? I think it'll be interesting to see what the Heat are going to do, because they're going to try this Durant thing. Let's say they get Durant. Are they going to go right into paying Tyler Hero, or are they going to pay Tyler in the summer? You know, like, it's that'll be an interesting dance too. So, but yeah, I think you're seeing it. Like, everybody, you can kind of have a window of doing it for like a year, maybe 2, but nobody's really sticking to doing it for more than, you know, we saw, why did Karl Anthony Towns get moved? You know, why are the Celtics going to make moves? Like, the cap it screws you too much. You can't do anything with it. So, you know, and to their credit, they drafted well. Wells played good last year. I think Edey's also going to be hurt to start the season. He hurt his toe, and that's a big toe.
Hey,
that's a big toe.
Dude, let me tell you something. More people.
The toe or his ankle? Maybe I'm messing it up. Maybe he broke his ankle.
More people have been run out of their sport because of a big toe, and you just don't want to admit it because it sounds like it wouldn't. No, you can't do nothing without the big toe.
Re-straining his left ankle.
I apologize. It's still a big ankle.
His
point stands. Point stands.
But I mean, look at that sprained ankle, keeping him out for weeks. Not on my watch. Buddy.
There's also an element of me too that's like, now everybody really thinks like, "Ooh, why'd you go to the Heat?" Like, I saw this Bill Simmons. It's like, "Yeah, great for Kevin Durant, waste of time." I'm like, you're a waste of time.
Okay. His team's going to be blowing up soon, so it's only a matter of time where we get his tears.
Well, they got to wait a year.
So did you guys see what happened? Maybe the bigger storyline out of game 4, which I mean, by the way, basketball is still going on. I know they didn't play on Father's Day. Thanks for that, by the way. But the NBA Finals is still going on. Did you see what happened to Stephen A. Smith this weekend?
No, what happened?
Marcos, did you see what happened to Stephen A. Smith this weekend?
Did it have to do with the people dressed up behind the bench or no?
No.
Okay. So then no, I didn't see
He got busted.
Stephen A. After Casual Friday?
After Casual Friday, he got even more casual on Friday night.
Whoa.
Jathan, can you put the picture up that went viral this week? Stephen A. Smith, as you can see, is very clearly on his phone during the NBA Finals, playing solitaire on his phone.
Okay. Now, this is
as you notice,
Could be a break.
It wasn't a break. They caught him in video. But as you notice, this is a post from Kevin Durant's Instagram. Kevin Durant posted on his Instagram, Stephen A. Smith playing solitaire during game 4 of the NBA Finals. And Leroy, Stephen A. Smith, he tried that defense that you're doing right there. It was during a break and I can multitask. Unfortunately for Stephen A. Smith, they had video and gameplay was very clearly going on in the background. He just had a good run on solitaire. He just couldn't quit.
He was on a heater. You know, this comes, his Casual Friday experience that we were talking about. There was a portion of that show in which Molly attempted to motion to him like, hey, close your laptop because it's on screen every time the camera switches behind you. He thought that she was referring to his cell phone, so he kind of brushed her off until she had to bring the show to a halt and say, hey, you're muted.
What did he have? He had Astron on his computer?
No, it wasn't anything necessarily bad, but it was, I think it was connected to his cell phone, which people could potentially like see his tweets or his texts and stuff like that. So she tried to be sneaky about it and said, hey, after a while, she was just like, hey, lower your laptop, people can see it. And he still was kind of like, I'm Stephen A. Smith. So he put his hand on the laptop, but he never closed it. It was kind of like, I would keep it open. I know that sparked people to be like, well, what else is on Stephen A.'s screen? And now we know.
He said, yup, that's me. Who would have thought? I can multitask, especially during timeouts. Hope y'all are enjoying the NBA Finals. This is going to go 7 games now, peep.
Oh, damage is done, my friend.
And then it got community noted, and it said, Stephen A. is lying. This photo was taken during gameplay, not during a timeout.
Okay. I see people standing in
like,
the photo.
is that so? Question.
Yep.
Why is that such a big deal?
It's his job to watch the game?
I mean,
he's got to watch he's on the halftime show.
It's my job to watch sports too, but I've been known to dabble in the foods and all that stuff during football game.
Leroy,
what?
You do the show the next day. I would imagine if you were on location at the Browns game and you had to talk about it, you're not playing solitaire. You may be hobnobbing, but solitaire connotes office boredom. When you play solitaire at your desk, you're just trying to have the time go away. This man couldn't be bothered with watching Thunder Pacers in the biggest game of the series.
Hey, come on, Dave South. Leroy has an on-air sandwich every show. He don't care.
Cap for Life says it'd be the equivalent of Joe playing golf on his phone during the playoffs. Well, we can't even picture them being in the playoffs. Let's just make it week 8, Cap for Life.
I also feel like Stephen A. is the kind of guy to be critical of players who may not be focusing as much as expected of them.
Yeah.
So,
there's definitely a Stephen A. segment of like ripping somebody's body language during a timeout.
Exactly. So it's kind of like, not only that, Leroy, you're never as critical as he is of other players. So
no,
for this to be the guy who gets caught not paying attention,
right.
This is poetic justice.
It's funny because I don't know what good or bad body language is, right? because I've sat on the sideline sometimes. I was either tired or banged up, and I'm just gonna sit here, shut my eyes, take a deep breath, and try to get ready for the next series. And I don't know how to read body language on the sideline.
It just could have been any other game, but when
Right.
you're playing solitaire, so many better phones.
It's not
even a challenging game.
Right, like if it was like Candy Crush, I'm like people have real.
Yeah, if he's playing Candy Crush, or maybe he's if he was playing Pokemon Go,
something, dude.
It's like, oh, we found a Charizard here in this section.
Exactly. I got to captain Charizard now.
This is where we are in life.
I just think it's hilarious.
I know, but it's here. What makes it? I think what makes it a bad look has more to do with how Stephen A approaches how serious everybody should be,
right,
all the time,
100%.
and not the fact that he's doing it, right? But he's the main guy talking about how guys look and this and that and whatever. Then you can't be the guy doing Sudoku.
Look, Stephen A. Smith is one of the greatest take artists of our time. I know Stephen A. Smith could watch probably 3 minutes of an NBA game. He's got a show for the next day. He doesn't need to break down the X's and O's. However, you got to know that the eyeballs are on you, and you can't be playing solitaire. Not there. You could be on Twitter. You could be looking at social media. You could be texting. You can't be playing the game that connotes office boredom. We'll take a break. More to come here on the show. Back after this.
I say he's.
Got to go back to the OG.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess the other one didn't go so well. That's what people are saying, right?
It's like the thing is that he's a unbelievable rapper, right? But even in all his songs, the beat is what gets you. And if you listen to the album, he got a lot of nice things, a lot of nice delivery of, some rap and some bars and all this stuff. But the music just ain't there. The music ain't going to grab you. So from that standpoint, it's not the talent of him. It's whoever the hell he has producing his album that's doing the music for him that failed him.
Somebody who never fails us is the Cats. They always seem to come through. Matthew Tkachuk, he is speaking at the podium with Mr. Los Olas, Anton Lundell. And he said today, from 5 Reasons Sports, Ethan Skolnick, not Schmeeth and Schmolnick, who would tell me to go to hell. Quote, on Sergei Bobrovsky, he's been the most important piece for us. We would not be here without him. Focus. I added that focus part. Tkachuk said he thought there was a 50% chance he wouldn't be playing in the playoffs. Of course, comes back from the groin injury from the Four Nations face-off. And then from Jessica Blaylock's Twitter, Matthew Tkachuk also said, on the Cup being in the building tomorrow, quote, our fans have given us so much love and support. They deserve to have this type of game at home. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. You, of course, can hear that game right here on 560 WQAM.
Is this one of those things where we're going to see the first 5 minutes of the game and go, okay, they're ready?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I would say this, after the first 2 games where you've had question about their kind of slow starts, they've started off fast every game. Now, they've given up a couple of leads, but they've started off pretty fast since that point.
Croqueta King says, from my inside sources, Swift and Kelsey will be in the suite tomorrow night. I'm good with that. I didn't blame it on them. I didn't blame the last game on them. No.
What if she banged the drum?
She can bang the drum. I'd be okay with that. She's Tay-Tay. Now, does she want to bang the drum? I don't know. If she cares about
she
the Cats
seems like, you know what? To be fair, she doesn't seem like she just wants to do her thing, and she's not really out there like that.
I don't think I don't think she would bang the drum. I mean, I would be fine with it because she's obviously one of the most famous people on the planet. Would be okay with Kelsey doing it? It's a little weird. He's he's too random.
No.
He's friends with Matthew Tkachuk, though. He's a Panthers fan.
Yeah, but he's not a local guy. Tay-Tay is just so famous that
lives in Boca now.
That don't count.
I'm just letting you know.
Go bang the FAU drum.
Steve says Ariana is the only person who should bang the drum. If
I wonder if I go to a game, if I could have Bernie call him and go get a selfie.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You're Leroy Horde. You're a hobnobber.
It's true.
Not really.
Oh, you have.
Well, no. See, look, people come up to me. I don't go up to people. Right? Like that situation, the one time we went to the Hard Rock.
Right.
Where a guy was saying, you should come to Monaco with us. I was like,
Always ends up like that, dude. Let's hear a little from Paul Maurice. Paul Maurice, he's the best. And he was talking about what it's like to be 1 win away from being back-to-back champs. Here's what the head coach of the Cats had to say.
And we won't deal with tomorrow. It's just handle your day. We handle our day today, and we got a travel routine. We're going to run the exact same routine. We got a day off the next travel. Just handle your day. That's all.
Win the day.
He doesn't even say it. He even says it differently.
Yep.
Handle the day.
He also talked about Brad Marchand's goal and which one was his favorite from game 5.
Well, I feel equally impressed. The thing about players when they come in is you have a really strong idea, right? You do all your pre-scout, you get it, and then you get on the ice with them in practice, and that's when you learn. And I said this right from the start. Clearly, he's closing in on 1,000 points. He's got good hands, but I didn't fully appreciate the small area things that he can do, and that's the most difficult to do. It's not the rink-wide pass on the tape that you get excited about. But what he can do under duress in a small area is world class. It's as good as I've seen.
Windmill. Take a break. We'll mix things up on the other side. Back after this.
All your cooling and
All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM, as we roll on here on a Monday, streaming live on YouTube and Twitch, the channel Miami 560 WQAM. Go subscribe today. Oh, hello, Jennifer.
Hello.
God, that is really loud at your house.
I know. I'm so sorry.
That is a loud wind tunnel you got going on there. It is Monday. That means at this time we get to the mixed bag. All right, Frog Boy, what do you got for us today off the weekend in the mixed bag today?
I am going to be plucking at your heartstrings, gentlemen, but not with a sob story of some sort, but instead with love and appreciation for those who have been overlooked. Let's start in Tennessee, shall we, with former Canes quarterback Cam Ward.
Oh, love some Cam Ward, dude.
Just when you thought you couldn't love this man more, details continue to flush out from Tennessee about the legend of Mr. Ward, including the fact that he trash talks so much the coach is questioning whether or not he can call a play because of the amount of trash talk over the mic. But Cam Ward assures you, and the coach assures you, somehow he still manages to listen. The miraculous ability to multitask, unlike Stephen A. Smith, right here commended by Cam Ward and his head coach.
Who he is and how he can handle.
Yeah, I'm not. I'll be honest. I'm not used to calling plays to a quarterback who's usually still talking when I'm talking to him, and that's great. And so I asked him after practice, and I said, just help me out here. I said, do you need me to wait till you finish, or? And he goes, no. He goes, I'm listening. So he's hearing what I'm telling him, and it was a pretty remarkable to see all the things going on and how much he's talking, but like his brain is still like with me, I guess is the best way to put it. Like when I'm calling a play, it's all he's doing, but he's listening to everything I'm telling him, and he enters right into the huddle and he calls a play and doesn't script the play call. And I thought that was actually kind of remarkable. I don't know, I couldn't do that. So that's just kind of who he is. That's his personality. And again, if it was something that I felt like was detrimental to his ability to manage the offense and call it in a huddle and all that, I'd probably have a.
Well, that's because you're one of the old Brian Callahan.
Can I just say this?
Just one of the old.
That's why you're a coach. And he's a player.
Yeah. Like, and right? Also, he's Cam Ward and you're not. So like, boo. I saw a quote from Cam Ward to ESPN. It was a Father's Day story. And they said, what was your father's advice after you got drafted? He said, don't F it up.
Sounds about right.
Now you know where you got it from.
That's not, well, one of the things that's, interesting, especially when I was going through everything is that once you get to a certain point in your life, there's nobody to talk to because they haven't been that far. And so it becomes difficult with whether you're going to college or preparing for the draft and stuff like that. So it becomes a little more difficult, but it's kind of like they keep it very simple. Right? So they giving you good family advice. It ain't based on no theories, no past, examples. They just base it off of just pure family and whatever.
Yep. What else you got in the mixed bag, Marcos?
This one is a little bit more. It's just a small clip I want to play of Cam Ward that also makes me fall in love with him. But unfortunately, I have to keep this on mute.
Okay.
Apparently, Cam Ward, as NFL players attempt to find ways to fill their time in the locker room, got involved in a ping pong match with Calvin Ridley.
Oh, boy.
Unfortunately, he did not win that ping pong match, which resulted in him breaking the table and the paddle and walking away. Cam Ward walks away after losing to Calvin refuses to accept defeat.
Well, next time, put some draws on before you play ping pong.
To say, is he,
right,
he
you over there in the towel. You can't exert no real energy. The towel gonna fall.
Yeah,
now I get it. You in the locker room or whatever, but damn, put some draws on, put some shorts on, something.
Doesn't connote flexibility in your game unless you have a real tight towel tuck.
No.
Yeah, you know what does connote competitiveness though? I don't need clothes to compete.
Like the Greeks or the Romans in the old Olympics.
No, what do you got? What do you got, a loincloth under there? Just
I don't even think they had loincloths back then.
No,
dude. This guy did not even get dressed before he decided to compete in a one-on-one. Amazing. I love this guy. Really is the best.
You know,
You can't let clothes get in the way.
Can I just tell you, most guys that play at that level are competitive like that.
Like they won't even get dressed before they decide to engage.
If somebody challenge you,
yeah, right here, right now,
right, yeah, right.
Callahan's only 41.
Yeah, he's young.
He is.
He's got a dad that. What do you mean?
Why do all
and I'm not 41, by the way, Schmeathan.
Why do all Callahans seem like they're 57?
Brian Callahan.
I believe him. I'm not saying he's a liar. I'm just saying he doesn't come at me as somebody who's 41. He seems somebody.
But put it in perspective, right? His dad's old, but even that is in his 60s.
I bet he tries to pretend like he doesn't have social media. This Brian Callahan.
Bill Callahan, 68.
There you go. So he was what, 27 years old?
I imagine Bill Callahan having when Brian was a baby was already like 12, like just came out already.
Hey, but check this out. Brian Callahan, I mean, his dad, Bill Callahan, is the reason why the Browns couldn't run the football last year, because he is one of the best offensive line coaches ever. And as soon as he left, that running game struggled.
What else you got in the mixed bag, Marcos?
From other people who are slowly but surely becoming more likable, this time we're going to switch over to the NBA. Previously known as the most overrated player, now he is shining in the NBA Finals that no one's watching, not even Stephen A. Smith. But in a segment with Kevin Hart in his Cold as Balls series,
okay,
Tyrese Haliburton continues to show off his personality, describing how LeBron be doing some old bleep. Just a great story to hear how these superstars interact.
And Katie, like, you know, like Brown do some old, we're sitting in the training room. We're sitting in the training room. He'll have his iPad on his chest, watching The Sopranos, no headphones, full volume. And I walk in the training room and nobody's saying anything to him.
No headphones, bro?
So I tell him, like, you're literally the Beats guy. Yeah. Why don't you got no headphones on? How many times you seen? He's like, it's like my fourth time. So why are you laughing so hard?
That's where he's gotten to.
For sure.
Brown's 40, man.
Yeah.
That's a big number.
It's a big age.
Am I here? Let me just be. Can I be clear on something?
Yeah.
You're here to tell me that the head coach of the Tennessee Titans is the same age as LeBron?
Yep. Yep.
I did that. That's crazy.
Wait.
How old is Mike McDavid?
Wait. When dude took over for LA, he was younger than 3 players.
I know he was 30. I know. I'm just saying, like, you just saw the way that Brian Callahan carried himself. And I'm to believe that man is the same age as LeBron James.
Yeah. Or Calais. He's only 2 years. They went to preschool together. Him and Calais Campbell. Calais still playing. How old is Calais? 39?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Can we also point out that LeBron James is basically pulling a Leroy?
That's what I was really alluding to. I feel
laughing at the same video with the same intensity.
Also, I feel like that's a Leroy move. Other than sleeping or eating food in the locker room, he would totally watch something without headphones.
Absolutely, you do it on the show anyway.
No, you have definitely watched videos right into your microphone.
Just last week, really. I think it was Friday.
It literally happens all the time.
No, I was putting on. No, this is what happened. I was putting on the golf, and the golf doesn't have sound, but I accidentally hit another channel that has sound, so I had to hurry up and turn it down. That's all.
You were watching on
But
Peacock,
I was
weren't
watching
you?
it with no volume. You can watch golf with no volume. You don't need volume. I don't need an explanation. I can see the
You
damn
did.
shot.
Yeah. All right. You could say that you don't need volume. I'm telling you, when you watch Twitter videos, you always have it on full blast.
Don't let them
Trying
come
to do
after
it right
you,
now.
Leroy. What do they
not.
know?
I'm not.
They're
Y'all
ganging
not
up.
getting
on
me.
you,
Y'all
Leroy.
can pick on me if I want. J-Fig, you don't do enough show. So you stop.
Wow.
Okay, wow.
Oh,
Your joke is a
no.
little boring.
Now we're lashing out on each other.
You got ourselves a lash off.
Jeez. This
Look,
mixed bag brings
Why
up
I'll
does,
let you have one.
why does everybody in our group get excited when it's not them? Right? So you just pouring gasoline on it.
The essence of
You
the
go, it
relationship
ain't-
of the
it's
show.
Not me.
What else?
Are you going to join us at work tomorrow?
Oh, Tuesday.
I'll think about it.
Championship Tuesday.
Yeah, Liz.
Keep flashing out on me and I won't.
Ooh.
Got to come in for a clinch Tuesday.
Come on, clinch
Oh, I'm
Tuesday.
going in.
We're still
Full
on.
force.
And
What else you got in the mix? What else you got in the mixed bag, Marcos?
Got some Sam Reinhart to get you guys in the
Oh, the
mood.
Rhino.
This is Sam Reinhart. I'm being one win away.
I mean, the more times you're in a situation like this, the more comfortable you're going to be. We've been staying in the moment very well. All postseason, and it's just about handling your day. And we did what we set out to do today, and now it's about recovering and getting back at it in a couple days.
Last year's hero in the Stanley Cup Final. See if he's got another. He's got a streak going right now. You mess with Sam. You mess with the Rhino. You get the goal horn.
It's good.
No, -1.
Why?
Because you tried it. If you would have just said you
Minus
mess with the Rhino, you get the horn, but you had to
It's hockey.
No, don't care. You didn't have no.
What about you mess with
That
the
was
Rhino?
terrible. That was absolutely terrible.
Undeserved. This is an undeserved -1.
No, it wasn't.
-1.
What?
No, it wasn't. That was terrible.
Jeez, tough crowd.
Really is a tough crowd.
For show poniness.
See, everybody agrees. Too much. You had to take it that next step.
I always feel like Sam Reinhart has a secret. You ever just see his face? Like he always looks like he's up to something.
And he always spit.
Always like sneakily
He's
up to
always
trying to find his next goal.
Isn't it? It's pretty crazy that we haven't had Barkov or Reinhart. How many? Reinhart hasn't scored that much, has he?
I mean, not as much as last playoffs.
Right,
'Cause
but I'm
Ben's
saying
getting all the goals.
Barkov and Ryan.
Last year he was like you literally couldn't stop him from scoring. Most power plays, most shorties.
Right.
Yeah. He
and this year
scored 7 goals.
7 goals.
Yeah, 7 goals. The playoffs.
Well, Marchand scored 6 in the final.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's just amazing how it's like two different guys now,
Mhm.
and those guys are still on the team. So, like, what do you do if you're Edmonton? Like, we can say, hey, let's shut down Connor McDavid and Draisaitl and let everybody else. You can't. The Panthers are so deep, you can't do that.
NYP. It's not your problem, dude. Don't worry about it. It's not your problem. That's their problem. That's not your problem.
You could just make acronyms out of nowhere.
Seriously, and act like we know exactly what he's saying.
Right. You guys know NYP, right? Like, what about the New York police? Like, what are you talking about?
No,
We'll take a break.
We all gave him that dumbass look. Like,
Final hour coming on up. Play a little All Right on No. Back after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. It's Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Let's get to our headlines. Brought to you by Doral Kia. At Doral Kia, choose from over 500 new Kia miles in inventory at the Sportage, Sorrento, and Telluride. Remember, when it comes to Kia, the great deals are at Doral Kia. Panthers had an optional practice today. A lot of media down here as the Panthers are 1 win away from clinching back-to-back Stanley Cup championships. That, of course, will get going tomorrow. We'll have all your coverage for you. 8 o'clock is your puck drop for Game 6 from Amerant Bank Arena. Meanwhile, the Larry O'Brien Trophy is also going to be played for as we have that series even at 2 games apiece. I know it's been off for what seems like a month and some Stephen A. Smith solitaire in between, but the NBA Finals resumes tonight. Game 5 between the Thunder and Pacers flips back to OKC with a tie at 2 games apiece. Do you feel like the Pacers missed an opportunity there, Leroy, with not making it 3-1, or you think that they could still win this thing even? Is Leroy's mic unplugged?
Yeah, because he's not muted.
Yeah.
Muted. Something happened there.
While he was playing solitaire, that's what happened.
I hit the button. I accidentally hit the button.
He's back.
Too much solitaire.
I just think that the way they came back and won that game, you're giving a team that you could have broken hope. You see what I'm saying? So, like, OKC knows they're good. But if you would have put them on their butts right then and there, then you put doubt even in them. Now, they can go back and say, it's a 3-game series with 2 games in our house. So we're back in the driver's seat. And that's the thing you have to kind of get over. I think Indiana's really good. I think they have a chance to kind of do the same thing the Panthers did. But I would say this, that it's very similar to these 2 teams. I just think the Panthers do it better, right? Very deep. They have 6, 7 guys that can get double-digit scoring. Their star's a star, but you don't need him to score 40 every night. Whereas Edmonton, and I'll use Edmonton example, if Draisaitl or Connor McDavid aren't the catalyst behind the scoring, then you think something's wrong with Edmonton.
I gotta tell you, when this series is done, whenever it's if I never have to see Bouchard's stupid face again, it'll be too soon. He has got the whiniest baby face. I'm sick of him. I'm sick of Evander Kane. I'm sick of Jake Wallman's ass.
Don't forget Perry.
And I gotta tell you,
Kane always.
What about Ekholm?
Evander Kane always seems like he has resting bitch face.
I can't with that guy.
Agreed.
He's always like complaining.
He's
I want to smack the screen every single time.
He's moping all the time.
What's my hockey excellence? Bleh.
At least I could respect Connor McDavid. He goes about his business. He's just a great player that deals with what he deals with, right? But these other guys, like
curmudgeons. Coach Knobloch looks like he's always smelled a fart.
You know what he looks like? I just figured out who he reminds me of. You know the blonde, when the blonde DA from Law and Order. He was also in another movie with what was that movie with Vin Diesel? Pitch Black. That
neither of these references are hitting on me, dude.
All right, let me see if I can pull up his name.
He does look like somebody, like he has a look of somebody who would be like either the annoyed neighbor on a television show. Like, I don't want to go full Le Batard looks like game here, but no, he just has this look of like unctuous. And I don't, there's something about Chris Knobloch I don't dig. He's not like, he hasn't passed, because I know I've probably made fun of every coach here. He hasn't gone to Coach Pooper. Like, he's not at that point. I don't, that he's my least favorite by far. And Brenda Moore is always just like confused.
Linus Roach.
Linus Roach. I don't know who that is. You have a Linus Roach. All right, dude. He just looks like generic intangibles.
Yeah, but Linus is a little bit older. You got to look at young pictures when he was in the Vin Diesel movies.
Fair enough. But yeah, all that team. I can't wait. Now you mentioned Ekholm. I feel like I would like Ekholm if he was on the Panthers, J-Fit, because he's got that beard. I feel like if he was a Panther, I wouldn't mind Ekholm.
I don't like
Right
him.
now he can go to hell though.
Exactly.
Right now he can go to hell. Tomorrow night, looking forward to it. Other headlines. Brock Lesnar's daughter, she won the NCAA shot put championship. Strong.
I mean, is she built like Brock Lesnar?
Oh,
very much so.
She definitely.
You've never seen the photos of Brock Lesnar's daughter?
No. But I know, wait, you don't have to show me pictures because I know the event that she's in, she's not petite.
No, I think you need to see this.
Yeah, you need to see this for sure.
No, I think you need
Like
to
a
see
Look
side
this.
by
like Brock
side.
Lesnar?
No DNA test necessary.
No, Brock Lesnar could not deny his daughter if he tried.
He
Jay Song
tried.
said her mom's DNA didn't work.
No, her mom didn't even try in the creation of this child.
That's what I say. The same thing about my
Ernest said Brock Lesnar's daughter looks more like Brock Lesnar than Brock Lesnar does Brock Lesnar.
It's a fair point. It's a fair point. It's like here's
it's the hair.
Oh my! She looks like Magnus von Magnuson. Like she is just.
she would take over one of Ragnar's crews in Vikings.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's like
Right.
she like Lagertha.
Yep. Oh no! Wow.
Yep. NCAA champion.
What she needs to do is get out of that sport with no money and head to the WWE.
Yeah, I feel so. Like that feels like the obvious move, right?
What else? I mean, you can probably get a medal. That's cool, I guess. But like,
No, you gotta. The Olympics are in 2 years, right?
yes.
I don't know.
Or is
When
it
are the
this
Olympics?
Summer Olympics? 2 years.
Are the next Olympics here?
Yeah, 2028.
Yep.
So they're in LA, right?
Yeah, they're everywhere across America.
No, that's just the soccer. But
Oh,
the
okay.
home base is LA.
Heard.
So yeah, I would say she probably try to get an Olympic medal and then go from there.
All right, we'll take a break. More to come here on the show, including more on KD. I feel like I've matured on this.
No,
Back
you
after this.
haven't. No, you haven't. No, you haven't.
do. This is what you do.
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Having fun here on a Monday as it was an action-packed weekend as the Cats are 1 win away from hoisting Lord Stanley. We're sniffing around some Kevin Durant stuff. The Heat apparently on the preferred destination list. The Texas teams don't seem like they want them very much. Maybe Minnesota's lurking, but who the hell wants to freeze their ass off all year, especially the old? The old don't like freezing their ass off. So Kevin Durant's probably like, Minnesota, pretty cold.
And yeah, that time of year, hey, I don't wish that on nobody.
Woo!
There's nothing like there's nothing like getting up in the morning and saying, it's 10 below with a wind chill of minus 55.
I think the thing is, look, I don't want this to be in a situation where I don't feel like I'm handling this like the damn thing. I have grown. I'm mature. No, I have. You can't say that I haven't grown. I'm definitely more mature than I have been.
You've grown from the start of the show to now.
No.
But you came in guns a-blazing.
Well, it's very exciting.
Hot.
It's very exciting. I love the chase.
Okay.
And one thing is, this has been
wait. All I'm saying is this. Don't you dare at 1:20 in the evening tell me how much you've grown when the show started with you being same old Tobes.
I don't think the show did start like that.
Oh,
I'm just telling you. All I said was I was very excited because when I was doing the broadcast on Saturday for Dirty Boxing, I thought in the middle of it we traded for Kevin Durant, and that is exciting. In a lot of ways, Kevin Durant is the OG Orca. When Pat Riley was flirting with the term Orca, he was referring to Kevin Durant, and so now he's finally got the chance to get him, maybe. And it's I don't like the Heat fan who's like, who don't want him? He's old. He's one of the greatest scorers of all time. He's going to make your 2 best players better. Your head coach, it would be nice for him to have somebody of his talents. And for everybody who's like, oh, he's not going to do anything with the Heat. They said the same thing about Jimmy Butler when he got down here. Oh, Jimmy's coming down here to retire. He's not going to do anything. Doubt the Heat at your own peril, you rat bastards. It doesn't usually end up well for you, does it? It doesn't usually end up well for you. But I've grown. I'm mature. I'm not going to chase this. I'm not going to be like I was with Damian Lillard. I'm not going to be like that.
It doesn't make it right.
I'm telling you.
I'm better, or you say I'm matured, or you say all these things. Doesn't make it better. We need somebody that doesn't have somebody outside of your circle.
What do you mean?
It can't be you saying you've gotten better.
Well, you guys are in my circle, and you have bad judgment on me.
You mean we're just reading what you do?
I just why you can't say I've acted irrationally.
Right
no, you can't say that.
You're just making sounds at this point.
I think I've handled this all. Look, I love the chase. I'm not gonna deny it. I love the chase.
We love a good chase.
Wait, what was the wee wah wah?
I love the chase, but I would really enjoy having Kevin Durant on the Miami Heat. I think that would be fun. Don't we want to have fun, baby? Let's have a little fun, baby.
Yes, I'm not even disputing that. I'm not saying that the Heat don't have a chance. I'm saying that the way you come out just hearing somebody's name mentioned, you get a little too excited.
It's not
and you've done this now with like the last 5 big time free agents.
I would like the Heat to shake it up a little bit. And I think
you know what? Just because the Heat don't end up with a guy doesn't mean they failed. Maybe their deal wasn't as good as somebody else's, or maybe the other team don't want to do business with the Heat. But just because you hear a free agent and go, oh, the Heat got to get him, they may be trying. They just can't. You ever thought about that?
No. I don't think about that. Who goes about whale chases like that? That's boring.
Yeah, but I'm saying that for this standpoint.
Hmm?
Just because they don't end up with that star doesn't mean that Miami failed in getting that player.
Jay Gatto says, Tobin the Mush only cares about having fun and not winning. Yeah, but why is this? This is the thing I don't get with people, because people will say this. They say, oh, this doesn't get the Heat over the hump. First of all, let me tell you something very much right now. The Heat are not only not over the hump, the Heat are barely starting to walk up the hill. After you get beat by a record margin in a playoff series, you need to recalibrate, dude. You need to reset things. And if you ain't going to blow it up, then you need to have some true infection and injection into your team. And Kevin Durant would greatly help Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo. He would.
Yeah.
And if you don't think that, you're a jackass and an idiot. And
so how do you feel about – so here's what we have right now. It's KD, Trae Young, DeMar, who you've already expressed your feelings, and Lauri Markkanen.
I would like Kevin Durant over all of those.
Right. But then next is Trae Young. I don't care about the other two. I'd rather not
Lauri
trade.
Markkanen?
I never trade. We got Jovic.
He's Finnish.
Huh?
He's from Finland.
So
what does that have to do with anything?
Him over Jovic? Okay. All right.
But but you understand what I'm saying, right?
I'm just saying, like the Panthers lose.
He looks like a older version of what I think Jovic is going to be. So just keep Jovic.
I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying the Cats have had a lot of success importing from Finland.
It's funny because I see Brandon put Suggs, Bane, Franz, and Paolo for Orlando. That sounds pretty good. But every time I hear Suggs, I don't think about the basketball player.
You think T-Sizzle?
Oh, yeah. I used to call it Teat Sizzle. Because he had a whole lot of action up in there.
It was noticeable that. You can't, but look, I haven't been sending you guys screenshot after screenshot. Like, I've definitely grown up somewhat.
Wait, hold on. Stop suggesting that you're noble here. The only reason why you didn't send 1,000 tweets or texts or pictures is because you were working.
That's not fair. No, I wouldn't have bothered you. I could have done it afterwards.
That's the only reason.
That's not true. That's not true.
What time did Dirty Boxing get done?
11-ish.
Yeah, you weren't texting that late.
Especially you, Mr. Oh, I have to sleep.
Dude,
the strobe light goes off.
First of all, before you even get out of bed,
You left our group chat one time.
Wait, before you guys even get up, I'm almost on the back nine on Saturday and Sunday. I get up really early for that because as you get older, your prep time becomes longer. In fact, I'm starting to question whether my prep time and getting ready for golf doesn't last longer than damn golf.
Jeez.
Right. And by the way, I got my results. Torn rotator cuff.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You torn rotator cuff?
Yeah.
Here, don't even do anything. I'll take care of you.
Do not give any advice, Marcos. You're the last person.
You have necessary.
You have
I don't even know I did it. He said it could be just wear and tear.
You've had a lot of wear and tear.
Yeah, but the problem is, you ready for the problem? Normally, your rotator cuff, if it tears like in where the joint is, where it goes in right there, somewhere in there. Mine tore in the middle. So there's really, you could either have an 8-month surgery, you'd be out for 6 to 8 months, or you just test the strength and it's getting stronger. So you just leave it alone. And I'm going to just have achy shoulder.
Raw Child said, why would KD come to play for a team you said can't even walk up the hill? I don't know, dude. Ask him. We're on the list. I don't have to ask him why we're on the list. We're on the list.
Wait.
Don't come at me.
Did you see the little flippity flip?
No, just don't ask me quite. Like, I don't know, but we're on the list. We're on the list. We're on the list.
Yeah, I can't.
We're on the list.
Woo! List season.
So here's Leroy's blue Fu Manchu will be on edge tomorrow. Oh yeah, dude. Let me tell you, I tore it and never. Well, here's the problem: is there's already remnants in my shoulder from the last surgery. So I have pins and a couple of stitches in there to keep that portion of it in place.
Wow.
So, yeah.
No, I was talking about you. Drew Starr has just retweeted an old tweet from Kevin Durant from 2009. And the tweet says, 30 degrees is too cold. I'd rather run in 90 degrees. I was in Minnesota last year, walked outside, and my face started to hurt in 50 degrees. Now imagine that all year, KD. All year, dude.
A tweet from 2009.
Take 6 degrees off of that. And that's not even count with the wind chill.
Woo!
You're going to have a couple of days of that.
I hope you like parkas, KD. Or beach.
KD going to say, because, he ain't got a girlfriend. He's like, man, it's so cold out here. I need to cuddle with a big girl. Come on, KD, I got you. Oh, who's what's her name? Lizzo. Lizzo will keep you warm.
Well, she did have a new man on the Minnesota Vikings.
Dum dum de dum de dum dum.
You know what?
Oh my goodness.
I think Leroy liked that enough to get a point.
Point for Tobin.
Dade South says that KD side-eye is going to hit different. Why do you assume we're going to have side-eye from him? You don't know that.
Think about this. He may be a curmudgeon. He may be difficult. But one thing he's not a guy that's going to make a stink on the basketball court. And that's what this team needs. Right?
I think he's a
pro. He's a pro's pro.
I heard he's a very pleasant person to deal with.
Yeah, so have I.
Very
Everybody loves
pleasant.
KD. The only people that don't like KD are Twitter and media. They say he's ornery and
Are him and Russell Westbrook cool now, or are they do they still have frostiness?
They're both curmudgeons. You can't have two curmudgeon friends.
I saw Russell Westbrook. We were the favorites to get him just by odds.
Dude, listen, we can't have two curmudgeons on the team because it just comes across wrong.
For Russell Westbrook, I'd say he's more ornery.
He's just an angry basketball player.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He does everything at 1,000 miles an hour. Right? He's another guy. As many times as he's been traded or released, or people have worked deals out to get him out of their building, guess what you never have to worry about? Russ giving you everything on the basketball court. That's what this team needs. That's what this team needs in the building. Not guys taking off because of boo-boos or whatever, or letting the young players on this team think that it's okay to play 60 games. You need to get that out of here.
I gotta give Jordo a -1 who says, no one believes your medical advice, Leroy. You were way off on Marcos's foot.
Right?
No,
Jordo
man.
gets it. Yes, you were. I made a full
You limped
recovery.
around for a month.
Zach Edey is dealing with the sprained ankle, and they're saying he's going to miss next season. Me? Look at the quickness.
Dude.
My
I'm like,
goodness.
crap.
Stop.
Just quickly send us to break.
I'm like a crab on the beach.
right, welcome back, everybody. It's time to get to our favorite Monday game. A little all right. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I'm going to go my oh, no first. And that is because we have more raccoon shenanigans. A man in Kentucky who's reportedly, he goes by the street name Cowboy Cody. He was arrested on Friday after allegedly releasing a raccoon inside a bar. This coming to us from Fox 8, I imagine, in Kentucky. Police say that they had to forcibly remove Mason from the car because he refused to roll down the windows during the exit of a vehicle during a traffic stop. He'd been previously asked to not trespass on the bar's property. He was arrested and charged with second-degree assault, third-degree criminal trespassing, resisting arrest, and failure to maintain insurance. Got to get all those charges. One person was bitten by the raccoon that he set loose.
Yeah, because, hey, white people, they're animals. You can't domesticate certain animals.
I got to get you this guy's mugshot. It's a doozy.
He looks like a raccoon handler.
He looks like Kentucky.
Wait, but so does Ashley Judd.
No, she looks like a Kentucky Wildcats fan. This guy looks like Kentucky. That's what this guy looks like. Cowboy Cody. I'll get you this. I mean, he is like, if you were to imagine what would a person look like who has a raccoon at his disposal, it would look like this guy.
Oh my goodness.
Why does he look like somebody getting ready for a movie role? Even Batman or Chris Pratt.
A Matthew McConaughey, something like that?
No, who was Batman last time?
Bale?
Christian Bale. Look at the picture. Christian Bale, or if Chris Pratt lost some weight.
Christian Bale, method acting as Cowboy Cody.
Yeah.
I got a couple of all rights. My first all right goes to Dirty Boxing this past weekend because it was a friggin' blast. Great event.
It was so good that you tried to watch hockey during it.
I didn't try to watch hockey. I put on the score.
He had to. Okay. He deserves a pass at that.
Very on edge with the Cats, dude. I just looked. I peeked at the score. I didn't look at one person skating during that game, during that fight night. So it was awesome. Lots of fun, and appreciate them giving the old chance to call that, because that was a night to remember. My other all right goes to Mrs. Tobin. Happy birthday to Mrs. Tobin. Happy birthday today. I'm going to take her out to dinner later on. We'll celebrate, and I'm glad that she was born. Leroy?
So my all right goes to Father's Day in general, because there's only a couple of days during the course of a year where we get to do everything. And when I say everything, I mean absolutely nothing, right? My mom called me and asked me, what am I doing for Father's Day? I said, I'm having a P&Q sandwich. She goes, what is that? Peace and quiet sandwich, right? Nothing in between, just air. And me and Rebecca and Mel, we went in the pool. We had our little floaties with the cup holders, turned on the TV, listened to some music, watched some golf, and had 3 dogs swimming in the pool, or 2 dogs. That's it. That's all I wanted. Because God knows I can't depend on Publix to put me in the mood for Father's Day. But I digress. My oh no. I was watching said golf yesterday, and I heard one of the analysts, Brad Faxon, say this phrase. I talked to Arnold Palmer about Oakmont, and he said XX and X. And I'm like, Arnold Palmer died almost 10 years ago. So what am I supposed to make of that?
Like he spoke to a ghost?
I don't know. I was just like, nobody else got this.
Okay. Yeah.
Dude was just like, he said it, and I'm like, oh.
Was he talking to his drink, the Arnold Palmer?
No, he was talking. He was talking, and he made it sound like he had the conversation with Arnold Palmer 2 days ago. And I was like, I said, because golf you can watch, and you don't have to be all into it. So I'm watching.
All in.
And I go,
All in.
look, Marcos.
Yeah.
I did this. Had my little juice on the side.
You didn't talk to him.
I'm like, I felt like I was sitting in the barbershop. We said, you ain't never met no Martin Luther the King. But yeah, so I'm like, nobody called him out on that. Now maybe he was talking about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But he should have said that.
Should have specified.
Yes.
Maybe we're talking to Jesse Palmer.
I don't know. Hey, so he was drinking Arnold Palmer lemonade. No. See, Arnold Palmer with vodka, that's called the John Daly.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I would like a John Daly.
But the best.
Try ordering one today.
The best drink of them all. The best drink of them all is a Jack Nicklaus.
What's that?
Strawberry lemonade.
Oh.
In the can. Oh my goodness.
That is good.
And that goes well with vodka.
I was gonna say, does it require vodka?
Next major, we drink them during the show. Jennifer, what do you got for us?
Len is about to text us. So my all right goes to celebrating my two favorite people this weekend, which was my mother for her birthday and my father for Father's Day.
Delightful.
Nice.
It's very delightful just to see them smile. It's good enough for me. And I'm also going to give an all right to Brad Marchand just when we thought he broke about 6 records last week. He broke another one this past weekend, which is the first player to score at least 5 goals in 2 separate Stanley Cup Final series with 2 different teams.
Yeah. I hope it makes Boston sick.
Yep. Also, my oh no. They keep putting these people mic'd up during the Stanley Cup Finals, and I don't really like anyone they've chosen.
What do you mean?
They're all bandwagoners. They don't really know what's going on.
And you mean the fans?
Yes, it's so annoying to watch. Put someone I want to see. Put some real excitement on it.
Who was the last one that they did?
Somebody from Golden State. Let's see. Forgot his name.
A Golden State Warrior they mic'd up?
Yeah.
It was Kuminga.
I was Jonathan Kuminga watching the Oilers.
Strange.
Is he Canadian?
It's interesting. Tim Hardaway Jr. was ringside, Game 4, mic'd up.
I saw that. That was a little bit weird, but he is a South Florida kid.
Yeah. So, cool, but okay.
Is Tim Hardaway Jr. ever going to be on the Miami Heat? Feels like that's been circling around.
He was one of them also, yes.
That was a missed opportunity.
No, would you rather have him or Andrew Wiggins?
You really want me to answer that?
I'd rather.
I mean, you'd have, for all the other stuff, you would
shoot.
rather have Tim Hardaway Jr.
Tim Hardaway Jr. broke Spo.
He forced to call that time out. It was so definitive, too. Yeah. Right? Chris Quinn couldn't even save him from himself. He did it so fast.
No, Spo, no! Oh, man. What do you have for us today, Froggy, for your all right and oh no?
My all right goes to Caitlin Clark for making an excellent return to basketball.
Yeah. All right. Damn, they had a 30-point triple-double.
She had 32 points, 9 assists, and 8 rebounds.
That's flirting with a triple-double, Tobin.
31 minutes, too.
I'll allow it.
But yeah, she gets my all right for an incredible return.
All right.
My oh no.
Yeah, they beat the undefeated Liberty. Keep in mind,
did.
Liberty was undefeated all year.
Liberty.
Ribbit?
It's Liberty.
Ribbit?
It was a very strange old man moment from Pat Riley during
Definitely was.
pressure. Love it though. Love it. You know how we do over here.
A ribbit?
Just go give me Kevin Durant, Pat.
My oh no goes to Joey Chestnut.
Oh,
he's officially ruined July 4th again.
He's back.
He's back. He announces his return to the hot dog eating contest, which means no one else has a chance.
Why?
I already feel nauseous.
Because he had agreed to like go against Kobayashi or something like that in a private event. And I think it was
he re-signed with Major League Eating.
Yes, he is now back. Him and Commissioner George.
Why can't Kobayashi come back?
That's a good question, man. That's a good question.
I mean, because for the same reason why golfers went over to live. It's their profession. That's what they do. And if somebody offers them more money, then they don't have to be a part of the hot dog eating contest when they can just make more money doing it somewhere else.
Yeah, it says that he did not participate in the 2024 contest due to his sponsorship with Impossible Foods. Which I believe
Impossible Foods the
vegetarian
non-meat eaters.
Yeah.
So he's throwing down Impossible hamburgers.
Well, he was. I mean, they paid him some money, so they disagreed on whether or not to went against the rules, and they decided, you know what, no contest for you, buddy. But he's back.
Kobayashi too?
No, not Kobayashi.
Okay.
Just
Kobayashi, by the way, is oh my god. I don't think he would have won. Most recently, I don't know. Joey downed 83 hot dogs in his most recent battle with Kobayashi.
Jeez, that's a grudge match right there.
Grudge match.
Dude, I can't imagine having a rival, right? And after the contest, you both have to go take a dump. That doesn't sound like it's worth it.
Also, you just think about, your whole life and being is I got to eat more hot dogs than this guy.
Right.
More hot.
Me, you know what they say? How many hot dogs do you think you could eat? I said 2. They go, all you could eat is 2? I say, yeah, because I ain't eating a plain hot dog. I got to have my chili and my relish and my cheese. And I'm going to eat it. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to enjoy this thing. I'm not going to sit here and hose it down. I lose respect for food if I do it that way.
That's a show for today, everybody. Have a great rest of your Monday. It's a Clinch Tuesday tomorrow. We can't wait for it. We'll talk to you then.
Look at the quickness.
Dude.
I'm like a crab.
Oh, my goodness.
Just quickly send us to break.
I'm like a crab on the beach.
I'm sorry. Ribbit? That's what I say every night.
Saying it was a huge success. And for that,
Come and find me, motherfuckers. Midday